So without further ado, let's get into character creation. Let me turn the music back on. Oh yeah, we should watch the intro movie as well. So I love this intro movie. Here's a little spoiler. He's not actually dead. Oh well. Anyway, I have played through this game many times, so backseating is absolutely allowed. I don't care. You can backseat as much as you want. Oh, hello, Bogu. Oh shit, man. Now when I have to go to the gym, well, who knows? I might still be streaming when you get back. Have a good workout. Alright, so I will absolutely be metagaming the shit out of my build, so in this game Wisdom is the main stat because it gives you more experience points and there's a lot of dialogue checks involving Wisdom. So it's overall it's the best stat, so we're gonna max that out. Second most important one is intelligence, because you really want to be a mage in this game, and we're going to be a mage, so we're gonna bump this up to 17. And the rest we can basically put into charisma. Charisma isn't as important as these two, but there's still a few charisma checks in dialogue that you might want to get. The physical stats aren't really that important. Although with Constitution, if you go up to like ridiculous, if you go up to like 25 Constitution, you can actually out-heal enemy damage. So we'll probably put some points into Constitution eventually once these are like at a good level. So yeah, let's go. Venture forth. Gotta go, see you in 2 hours. Alright, Bogo. Have a good workout. I'll probably still be streaming.
Hey, Chief. You okay? You playing corpse or you putting the blinds on the dusties? I thought you were a deader for sure.
Who are you? Who am I? How about you start? Who are you? I don't know. I can't remember. You can't remember your name? Well, next time you spend a night in this burg, go easy on the pub. Name's Mort. I'm trapped in here too. Trapped? Yeah, since you haven't had time to get your legs yet, here's the chant. I've tried all the doors, and this room is locked tighter than a chastity belt. We're locked in where? What is this place? It's called the mortuary. It's a big black structure with all the architectural charm of a pregnant spider. The mortuary? What, am I dead? Not from where I'm standing. You got scars aplenty though. Looks like some Burke painted you with a knife. All the more reason to give this place the lap before whoever carved you up comes back to finish the job. Scars? How bad are they? Well, the carvings on your chest aren't too bad, but the ones on your back... Say, looks like you got a whole tattoo gallery on your back, Chief. Spells out something. Hello, cooking is fun. How are you doing? Tattoos on my back? What do they say? Looks like you come with directions. Let's see, it starts with... I know you feel like you've been drinking a few kegs of Styx wash, but you need to center yourself. Among your possessions is a journal that'll shed some light on the dark of the matter. Farad can fill you in on the rest of the chant if he's not in the dead book already. Farad? Does it say anything else? Yeah, there's a bit more. The voice acting will fuck you? We'll be fine, I'm sure. Trying to get better. Didn't stream today since I wasn't feeling well. Gonna risk work. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you will feel better soon. Don't lose the journal, we'll be up the sticks again. And whatever you do not tell anyone who you are or what happens to you, or they'll put you on a quick pilgrimage to the crematorium. Do what I tell you. Read the journal, then find Farad. Is this the infamous story reading stream? What happened to Kingmaker? I'll continue Kingmaker on the weekends. That's a weekend game. But I really wanted to start Torment, so I'm doing it now. No wonder my back hurts. There's a damn novel written there. As for that journal I'm supposed to have with me, was there one with me while I was lying here? It's some sort of stomach virus or something. That sucks. Nah, you were stripped to the skins when you arrived here. Besides, looks like you got enough of a journal penned on your body. What about Farad? Do you know him? Nobody I know, but then again, I don't know many people. Still, some Burks got to know where to find Farad. Once we get out of here, that is. How do we get out of here? Well, all the doors are locked, so we'll need the key. Chances are one of the walking corpses in this room has it. Walking corpses? Yeah, the mortuary keepers use dead bodies as cheap labor. The corpses are dumb as stones, but they're harmless and will attack you unless you attack first. Now, in this game, I'm probably gonna be playing lawful good, because it kinda pays off in the long run. So, I'm gonna be good. Is there some other way? I don't want to kill them just for a key. Why, you think it's gonna hurt their feelings? They're dead. But if you want a bright side to this, if you kill them, at least they'll have a rest before their keepers raise them up to work again. Well, alright. I'll take one of them down and get the key. Well, before you do that, arm yourself first. I think there's a scalpel on one of the shelves around here. Alright, I'll look for one. One last thing, those corpses are as slow as molasses, but getting punched by one of them is like being kissed by a battering ram. If they start getting an edge on you, remember you can run, and they can't. Use it to keep some distance if you need to recover. Alright, thanks for the advice. I stopped after getting a certain companion. Was it Dakon, the Gitzerai? Guess you get him pretty early.
Done.
Okay, let's play. Now, if you're wondering about the FPS, I'm playing on 30 FPS because if you adjust it higher, there's spell effects can get mistimed. So like if you cast like a shield spell, the duration can get messed up. So, and I'm also playing on the max difficulty. No, the tiefling? Oh, I see. Yeah, you get her a bit later. Alright. This device looks like some sort of sewing machine. Arms with hooks, tubes, and metallic thread hang from it. Okay, we got bandages. These are useful.
Can't let that go.
Fist. Can go fisting people if I want.
Don't want to part with that.
Eyes cannot be removed, only switched. This is your eye. It looks like it's seen better days. A mortas is a bite weapon.
Can't part with that. Sorry.
Yeah, Mort is actually the best tank in this game. He's got a lot of natural resistance. He's got 75% physical resistance from the get-go. He's also immune to poison and cold. You can also upgrade him later, so he gets a boost to like constitution, dex, and strength. Alright. These barrels contain a murky liquid. It smells like a cross between vinegar and formaldehyde. Okay, there's the scalpel. Alright, you found the scalpel. Now go get those corpses. And don't worry, I'll stay back and provide valuable tactical advice. Alright. Time to introduce these corpses to the second death then. Well, let's go. This shambling corpse looks like it has been dead for several years. The skin along its forehead has peeled back, revealing its chalk-white skull. Someone has chiseled the number 569 into the exposed bone. This is way better than listening to a bearded boomer's questionable music choices. I always found this game more similar to Fallout than the other Infinity games. I mean, it is a lot less combat heavy, that's for sure. And it's a lot more like, you have a lot more options of dealing with things, you know, without fighting. Examine the corpse, see if it's carrying a key. This corpse doesn't appear to be carrying a key, and it doesn't look like it would be able to use one if it did. Its fingers are broken, as if someone smashed them with a hammer. You do happen to notice that its left shoulder is heavily bandaged. The bandages might be usable if the corpse was disposed of first. I don't know if I want to do that, because it might make me more evil, so I'm just gonna leave it in peace. You also don't want to talk to these zombies, because it actually makes you more chaotic. Like, yeah, in this game, you don't pick alignment. You start out as true neutral, and then your alignment shifts based on your actions. And I'm aiming to be lawful good, so it has actual role playing in the dialogue, unlike BG. Yeah, that's another big difference. This corpse's head lolls back and forth on its shoulders, judging from the angle of the neck. It looks like this man may have been hanged. The number 825 has been painted on the side of his head. See if it's carrying a key. This corpse is carrying nothing, but you happen to notice its hands are heavily bandaged. The bandages might be usable if the corpse was disposed of first. Well, again, don't want to risk it. Yeah, this one has the... Now, I was also thinking, should this be a no reload run for the memes? But I don't know if there's any real point to it. Because you can't really die. Was it 16 intelligence and wisdom for max bonus XP? Only wisdom gives you extra XP, and it actually scales all the way to 25. I started with 18. This corpse stops and stares blankly at you as you approach. The number 782 is carved into his forehead, and his lips have been stitched closed. The faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from the body. Examine the corpse, see if it's carrying a key. This corpse looks like the one with the key. It is holding it tightly in its left hand, its thumb and forefinger locked around it in a death grip. It looks like you'll need to hack the corpse's hand off to free the key. Alright, we'll do that. Oh, I should maybe equip the scalpel first. Alright. There we go. Got the key.
All right.
Okay, let's go on. Psst, some advice, Chief. I'd keep it quiet from here on. No need to put any more corpses in the dead book than necessary, especially the femmes. Plus, killing them might draw the caretakers here. I don't think you mentioned it before. Who are these caretakers? They call themselves the Dustmen. You can't miss them. They have an obsession with black and rigor mortis of the face. They're an adult bunch of ghoulish death worshippers. They believe everybody should die sooner than later. Sooner better than later. I'm confused. Why do these Dustmen care if I escape? Weren't you listening? I said the Dusties believe everybody's got to die sooner better than later. You think the corpses you've seen are happier in the dead book than out of it? The corpses I've seen here, where did they all come from? Death visits the plains every day, Chief. These shamblers are all that's left of the poor sods who sold their bodies to the caretakers after death. Before you said something about making sure I didn't kill any female corpses. Why? But are you serious? Look, Chief, these dead chits are the last chance for a couple of hardy bashers like us. We need to be chivalrous. No hacking them up for keys, no lopping their limbs off, things like that. Last chance? What are you talking about? Chief, they're dead. We're dead. See where I'm going? Eh? You can't be serious. Chief, we already got an opening line with these limping ladies. We've all died at least once. We'll have something to talk about. They'll appreciate men with our kind of death experience. Wait, didn't you say before that I'm not dead? Well, alright, you might not be dead, but I am. And from where I'm standing, I wouldn't mind sharing a coffin with some of these fine, sinewy cadavers I see here. Ward starts clacking his teeth as if in anticipation. Of course, the caretakers would have to part with them first, and that's not likely. Alright, I'll try and remember that. Look, Chief, it's obvious you're still a little addled after your kiss with death, so I got 2 bits of advice for you. 1, if you got questions, ask me, alright? Alright, if I have any questions, I'll ask you. 2nd, if you're half as forgetful as you seem to be, start writing stuff down. Whenever you come across something that might be important, jot it down so you don't forget. If I had that journal I was supposed to have with me, I'd do that. Start a new one then, Chief. No loss. There's plenty of parchment and ink around here to last you. Alright, it couldn't hurt. I'll make a new one then. Use it to keep track of your movements. If you ever start to get cloudy on important things, like who you are, or more importantly, who I am, use it to refresh your memory. Alright, I got it. Let's go.
Updated my journal.
Ah, there's the iconic line. Updated my journal. Oh, this also disturbed me. Yeah, Mort's an horny old dog. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. Her skin is paper thin, almost wispy. It's like someone draped a sheet of cobwebs across her frame. The number 594 has been scratched onto her forehead with a charcoal pencil. Yeah, leave the corpse in peace. Psst. You see the way she was looking at me? Huh? You see that? The way she was following the curve of my occipital bone?
What are you talking about?
What, are you blind? She was scouting me out. It was shameless the way she wanted me.
Yeah, whatever, Mort. Let's go.
The left side of this woman's face looks as if it was caved in with a club, and her flesh sags in bruised, swollen clumps over her ruined skull. The number 626 has been stitched onto the corpse's right cheek, just below the eye.
I so want to lie in her coffin.
Okay, bro. Whatever you say. This corpse is lumbering along a triangular path. Once it reaches one of the corners of the triangle, it pauses, then turns and staggers towards the next corner. It has 965 tattooed on the side of its skull. As you approach, it halts and stares at you. Looks like someone forgot to tell these sods to stop walking the rule of threes.
What do you mean?
These corpses don't have much left in the attic, so they can't do more than one task at a time. When they're told to do something, they'll keep doing it until someone tells them to stop. This poor sod probably finished some task and they forgot to tell him.
Who gives them their commands?
Either one of the caretakers here, or else whatever necromancer raised them out of the dead book. Probably one of the caretakers here. They're the ones who need the cheap labor after all.
I see. What was that you said before about the rule of threes?
Updated my journal.
Eh? Well, the rule of threes is one of those laws about the planes, about things tending to happen in threes, or everything's composed of 3 parts, or there's always 3 choices, and so on and so forth.
You don't sound like you hold much faith in it.
It's a lot of wash if you ask me. If you look for a number, any number, and try to attach some great meaning to it, you're gonna find plenty of coincidences.
Alright, come on, let's keep moving. Receiving room logbook. Coppers and fist irons. This corpse is shuffling from slab to slab, bandaging the corpses lying there. The number 396 is carved into his left temple, and his lips are stitched closed. You notice the corpse is carrying a roll of bandages in its hand. The bandages look usable. I'm not gonna steal them, because it might make me more chaotic. The number 1201 has been inked on the forehead of this corpse, and the ink has run down its eyes, cheeks, and jaw. As you follow the ink tears down the corpse's face, you notice it has run into the stitching, sealing the corpse's lips, and has caught on what looks like the corner of a note stuck in the corpse's mouth. I think you can do this safely. Try and pull the note out. The note has mingled with the ichor in the zombie's mouth. If you tried to pull the paper out through the cross stitches, it would tear the paper to shreds. Hacking up the corpse to get at it looks like it will destroy the note. You'll need to find a delicate way to remove the stitches before removing the note. Use the scalpel to cut through the stitches. You deftly slice through the stitches, sealing the corpse's mouth, and the jaw sags open. You carefully pull the note from the corpse's mouth. Despite the condition of the paper, the writing on it still appears legible. Okay. Note from Corpse 1201. This is a foul-smelling note retrieved from the mouth of one of the mortuary zombies. It looks like it was sewn into the corpse's mouth by accident. Despite its condition, the writing is legible. Please, to whatever dustman reads this, I beg of you. I know of my legal obligation under the terms of the dead contract, but I am prepared to offer more than my signing fee if you will cremate my body rather than raising it. I have arranged for this note to be left with my body upon my death. If you are reading this, then please use this note as instructed and accept the result in exchange for my contracted duty. Let my contract number serve as the key. It looks like the corpse was too late to prevent the raising, but you notice that beneath the writing is a diagram. It looks like directions for folding the parchment into a strange pattern. There's a series of strange marks on each corner. 1 mark on the upper right, 2 marks on the lower right, 3 marks on the lower left, and no marks on the upper left. Yeah, so you follow this. So upper right, you fold the corner inwards so its point touches the center. Lower right, you fold the corner inwards. Upper left. As you fold the upper left inward to the center, you watch as the upper right unfolds by itself, resuming its normal position. Fold the upper right back into the center. As you fold the upper right corner back to the center, the lower left corner mirrors the action until all the corners touch in the center. You watch for a moment and the corners of the paper rise up, turning the note into a small 4-sided paper pyramid. Open the sides of the pyramid. You peel back the sides of the pyramid and the paper disintegrates to dust. Inside is a small triangle-shaped earring. It catches the light and gleams brightly. Take the triangle earring. Oh, it needs to be identified. You receive this small earring from folding a note in the mouth of one of the walking corpses in the mortuary. It's a beautiful earring, but despite its beauty, All it seems to do is remind you how strange this world you've woken up in is. Well, we can't identify it yet. Oh yeah, I should equip these fist irons. Receiving room logbook. This huge logbook lists mortuary procedures in a tight, cramped script. All shells entering the mortuary are to be delivered to the receiving room and locked with the scribe on duty before being embalmed or cremated. The records are to be checked to determine if the shell is one of the contracted, and if so, do not prepare the shell. Move the shell to one of the preparation rooms, contact the scribe on duty, and notify him that a contracted shell is to be raised. Be certain that a shell is thoroughly stripped of its possessions before being sent to the preparation rooms. The contracted workers are intended for simple manual labor and do not have the capacity to search and strip a shell. The faction is not responsible for any possessions lost or items stolen by collectors who have brought the shells to the mortuary. The shell's possessions are to be stored in the receiving room until an initiate can be sent to claim them. Please catalog all possessions in the logbook. Following this list is thousands of entries of bodies that have been sent to the receiving room. As you flip through the rest of the book, however, you notice the last page has been cut out. The smell of formaldehyde emanating from this corpse is particularly strong. It smells like it was applied recently, and with good reason. This corpse appears to be in an advanced stage of decay. Her jaw is missing, and some of the flesh has slid off her skull, revealing the number 1072 chiseled into the bone.
Hello, my sweet cadaverous beauty.
Good lord. This female corpse is making the rounds from slab to slab in the room. Her hair is knotted into a long braid and looped around her neck like a noose. Someone has stenciled the number 1096 onto her forehead, and her lips have been stitched close.
What is this rotting vision I see before me?
This walking corpse has the numbers 1094 carved into its forehead. Its mouth has been sewn tightly shut, and the chemical reek of fresh formaldehyde hangs in an overpowering cloud around it. Despite the pallid, sunken features and lifeless milky eyes, it is clear this was once a handsome young man. This book is huge. It must contain thousands of names. This scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and has a slight trace of yellow, like old parchment. Charcoal grey eyes lie within an angular face, and a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like a waterfall. His breathing is ragged and irregular, but even his occasional coughing does not slow the scratching of his quill pen. Greetings.
Whoa, Chief, what are you doing?
I was going to speak with this scribe. He might know something about how I got here.
Look, rattling your bone box with Dusty should be the last thing.
Before Mort can finish his rant, the scribe begins coughing violently. After a moment or two, the coughing spell dies down and the scribe's breathing resumes its ragged wheeze.
And we especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with sick Dusty. Come on, let's leave. The quicker we give this place the laugh, the better.
Before Mort can finish, the scribe's grey eyes flicker to you. The weight of years hangs heavy upon me, restless one. He places down his quill. But I do not yet count deafness among my ailments. Restless one, do you know me? Know you? There's a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks. I have never known you, restless one, no more than you have known yourself. For you have forgotten, have you not? Who are you? As always, the question, and the wrong question as always. I am Dahl. Perhaps you can answer some questions for me, Dahl.
Updated my journal.
Very well. What did you wish to know? What is this place? You are in the mortuary, restless one. Again you have come. This is the waiting room for those about to depart the shadow of this life. Tell me about the mortuary.
This is where the dead are brought to be interred or cremated. It is our responsibility as dustmen to care for the dead, those who have left the shadow of life and walked the path to true death. Your wounds must have exacted a heavy toll if you do not recognize this place. It is almost your home.
Shadow of life?
Yes, a shadow. You see, Restless One, this life, it is not real. Your life, my life, they are shadows, flickerings of what life once was. This life is where we end up after we die, and here we remain, trapped, caged, until we can achieve the true death.
True death?
True death is non-existence, a state devoid of reason, of sensation, of passion. A state of purity.
Sounds like oblivion. Why would anyone want that?
Is it worse than remaining in the shadow of what life once was? I think not.
Tell me more about the mortuary. Who are the Dustmen?
We Dustmen are a faction, a gathering of those of us that recognize the illusion of this life. We await the next life and help others on their journey.
Perhaps you can explain why the Dustmen want me dead.
It is said there are souls who can never attain the true death. Death has forsaken them, and their names shall never be penned in the dead book. To awake from death as you have done suggests you are one of these souls. Your existence is unacceptable to our faction.
Unacceptable? That doesn't sound like it leaves me in a good position.
You must understand, your existence is a blasphemy to them. Many of our faction would order you cremated if they were aware of your affliction.
You are a Dustman, but you don't seem to be in favor of killing me. Why not?
Because forcing our beliefs upon you is not just. You must give up the shadow of life on your own, not because we force you to. As long as I remain at my post, I will protect your right to search for your own truth.
What is your post?
I am a scribe, a cataloger of all the shells that come to the mortuary. As long as the stream of corpses flows through the mortuary, I shall remain at my post.
You say that I have been here more than once. How is it that the Dustmen do not recognize me?
Updated my journal.
I am the one that catalogs the shells that come to our halls, Restless One. Only I see the faces of those that lie upon our slabs. The dark of your existence lies safe with me.
What is Sigil?
Sigil is our fair city, Restless One.
And it's actually pronounced Sigil, not Sigil.
What are these wounds I have? Yes, the wounds that decorate your body. They look as if they would have sent a lesser man along the path of the true death. Yet it seems as if many of them have healed already. But those are only the surface wounds.
Only surface wounds? What do you mean?
Updated my journal.
I speak of the wounds of the mind. You have forgotten much, have you not? Mayhap your true wounds run much deeper than the scars that decorate your surface. But that is something that only you would know for certain.
How did I get here?
Your moldy chariot ferried you to the mortuary, Restless One. You would think you were royalty based on the number of loyal subjects that lay stinking and festering upon the cart that carried you.
I arrived here on a cart?
Updated my journal.
Yes, your body was somewhere in the middle of the heap, sharing its fluids with the rest of the mountain of corpses. Your seneschal, Farad, was, as always, pleased to accept a few moldy coppers to jump the lot of you at the mortuary gate.
Who is this Farad?
He is a collector of the dead. We have such people in our city that avenge the
that scavenge the bodies of those that have walked the path of true death and bring them to us so that they may be interred properly. We're gonna find this Farad. If events persist as they have, Restless One, you have a much greater chance of Farad finding you and bringing you to us again before you find whatever ooze puddle he wallows in this time. Nevertheless, I must find him. Do not seek out Farad, Restless One. I am certain that he will simply come full circle again, with you none the wiser, and Farad a few coppers richer. Accept death, Restless One. Do not perpetuate your circle of misery. Hello, Geronimus. What a chat, he's doing the voices. Well, I'm trying to. I have to find him. Do you know where he is?
Updated my journal.
I do not know under which gutter stone Farad lairs at the moment, but I imagine that he can be found somewhere beyond the mortuary gates in the hive. Perhaps someone there will know where you can find him. Doesn't sound like you like Farad much. Kambala does not need his voice intact anyway. I'll be fine. I'm sure. There are some I respect, Restless One. Farad is not one of them. He wears his ill repute like a badge of honor, and takes liberties with the possessions of the dead. He is a Knight of the Post, cross-trading filth of the lowest sort. Knight of the Post? A Knight of the Post. A thief. All Farad brings to our walls comes stripped of a little less of their dignity than they possessed in life. Farad takes whatever he may pry from their stiffening fingers. Did this Farad take anything from me? Most likely. Are you missing anything, especially anything of value? Not that Farad would take exception to anything that wasn't physically crafted to your body, and sometimes even that's not enough to give his greedy mind pause. I am missing a journal. A journal? If it was of any value, then it is likely it lies in Farad's hands. I see. Can you tell me how to get out of here? The front gate is the most obvious exit, but they will not let anyone other than Dustman pass. Oh.
Hieronymus gifted a tier 1 sub to immortal_space_bogan.
Oh.
I love money. Yes, I do.
Wait, we need to wait for
Hieronymus gifted a tier 1 sub to Bike Botel.
We need to wait for
I love money. Yes, I do.
It's gonna play out the alert for every single
Hieronymus
one.
gifted a tier 1 sub to Diplomnum.
I love money. Yes, I do.
Hieronymus gifted a tier 1 sub to Gracie Paws.
I love money. Yes, I do.
Hieronymus gifted a tier 1 sub to Derlag TK.
This is gonna take
I
another while.
love money. Yes, I do.
I really need to set that up properly so it doesn't
Hieronymus gifted a tier 1 sub to Benu 35.
so it doesn't play out a separate
I
alert.
love money. Yes, I do.
Hieronymus gifted a tier 1 sub to Very Bore Oofy.
Okay, 3 more.
I love money.
Then I can
yes, I
thank
do.
you properly.
Hieronymus gifted a tier 1 sub to Bim Bam _.
I love money. Yes, I do.
Hieronymus gifted a tier 1 sub to Tay 1505.
I love money. Yes, I do.
Hieronymus gifted a tier 1 sub to Ipikiwi.
Alright, there we go. Thank you, Geronimus, so much for the 10 gifted subs. Much love and God bless, my dude. Thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Epikiwi? Yeah. It didn't know how to pronounce Epic's name. God bless, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having an excellent day. Man. Alright. Let's keep going. Let's continue destroying my throat. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, by the way. Thanks again. One of the guides by the front gate has a key to it, but it is unlikely he will open it for you unless you are extremely persuasive. I see. Do you know who I am?
Updated my journal.
I know scant little of you, Restless One. I know little more of those that have journeyed with you and who now lie in our keeping. I ask that you no longer ask others to join with you, Restless One. Where you walk, so walks misery. Let your burden be your own. There are others who have journeyed with me, and they're here?
Updated my journal.
Do you not know the woman's corpse interred in the memorial hall below? I had thought that she had traveled with you in the past. Am I mistaken? Where's her body? The Northwest Memorial Hall on the floor below us. Check the buyers there. Her name should be on one of the memorial plaques. Mayhap that will revive your memory. I don't know. I don't recall ever traveling with a woman. Dal makes no response to this. He simply stares at you in silence. Before, you said there were others interred here who journeyed with me. Where are they? Doubtless there are, but I know not their names, nor where they lie. One such as you has left a path many have walked, and few have survived. All dead come here. Some must have traveled with you once. I find no fault with your reasoning. I had some other questions. What do you do here? Oh, we already asked this. You sound ill. Are you not well? I am close now to the true death, Restless One. It will not be long before I pass beyond the eternal boundary and find the peace I have been seeking. I tire of this mortal sphere. The plains hold no more wonders for one such as I. Are you certain? There might be some way I could help you. I do not wish to live forever, nor live again, Restless One. I could not bear it. So be it. Farewell, Dal. As you turn to leave, Dal speaks. Know this, I do not envy you, Restless One. To be reborn as you would be a curse that I could not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point, your path will return you here. It is the way of all things flesh and bone. Then perhaps we will meet again, Dal. All right. This huge corpse is standing silently in a corner of the room facing the wall. He looks to have been a heavy-set man in his early years, and judging by the condition of the body, he died only recently. The freshly stitched number on his forehead reads 1664. This corpse looks like it is serving as a librarian, for it is carrying a huge stack of books in its arms. Examine the books. The books appear to be old mortuary ledgers, none of them of any particular interest. As you search through the texts, however, you notice a loose page folded between the two of the books. You are suddenly struck with the feeling that someone tucked it there to hide it. Take the page. The page doesn't look like it belongs with the ledgers, it looks like it belongs in a logbook. The tear is clean, as if with a knife, so you suspect the page was removed on purpose. Read through it. You take a moment to read through their page. It's a list of dead bodies brought to the mortuary and locked in the receiving room. All the entries appear to be recent arrivals. Okay, well, let's read it. Receiving log page. This ragged page looks like it was cut neatly out of a book. It is written in a tight, crabbed script. Fifth night drunk, chest wound. Cause of death, mauling, Abishai. Collector, pox. 3 comments paid, no possessions. Desiccated corpse. Cause of death indeterminable. Age of shell prevents the identification. Collector Farad. 3 commons paid. No possessions. Stripped. Knife marks evident from dissection. Scarred shell. Cause of death indeterminable. Scars do not appear to be cause of death. Shock trauma. Collector Farad. 3 commons paid. Possessions logged. Fist irons. 13 commons. Middle table. Receiving room. I think that's the nameless one. Fifth night. Desiccated corpse. Number 2. Cause of death indeterminable. Age of shell prevents identification. Collector Farad. 3 commons paid. Possessions logged. Knife marks evident from dissection, but the dissection was not thorough enough. Copper earring found lodged in abdomen. Earring has been locked in southeast preparation room. Have an initiate from the 3rd circle examine it. It has strange markings like those on contracted worker number 79. Skeleton. Cause of death indeterminable. Age of shell prevents identification. Collector Farad. 3 commons paid. No possessions. Stripped. Knife marks evident from dissection. As with the previous entries, these shells Farad has brought also show signs of having been prepared. I have asked that Initiate Emmerich launch an investigation into the matter. Furthermore, N316542 is one of Farad's gang. I have seen the individual before. I would ask Emmerich to pay heed to how the man died. Fifth night. Tiefling male. Cause of death / mark / discoloration of wounds are consistent with grave rot. Cool claws. Collector Farad. 3 commons paid. No possessions. Stripped. Knife marks evident from dissection. Hopefully your voice is recovered since the Pathfinder stream. You're gonna need it. Yeah, it's fine. I feel fine. For now, but there's still a lot of reading to do, so we'll see how it goes. Okay. More stuff to loot. Some more bandages, always good. There's a few areas in this game where you can actually like do combat. There's the Undersigil area. There's also the Modron maze, and we'll definitely be doing both of those. So there will be some combat eventually. The eyes of this corpse are set close together and the eyeballs themselves are slightly askew. One faces to the left and the other to the right. You can barely make out the number 257 traced into its bruised forehead. It looks like the corpse has taken several blows to the head, making the number difficult to read. This heavily stitched corpse is shuffling lazily back and forth between 2 slabs. The number 506 has been stitched on its forehead and the side of its neck and its right arm. In fact, the skin of this peeling corpse has been sewn up with so many stitches, its skin looks like a bizarre street map. You need to change your perspective when playing Planescape. Combat meh dialogue poggers. There's some decently fun fights in this game though. There's a few fights that you have to take. The stitches encircle the corpse, running from its arms, across its chest, up its neck and into the damp mass of white hair. As you follow the crossroads of stitches, you notice someone has jammed a needle into the corpse's forehead. The needle is attached to a thread, stitching up the side of the skull. You could probably unravel it if you had something to cut the thread. Cut the stitches with your scalpel, then pull out the needle and thread. You slice the thread neatly with the scalpel, then pluck out the needle and pull the stitches out. As you do, the skin covering the forehead peels back to reveal the corpse's chalk white skull, where, to your surprise, the number 78 has been chiseled. Interesting. This corpse, 985, has stopped dead in its tracks. Judging from the condition of its left leg, it looks as if some sort of tomb rot or corpse mold has eaten through its knee. The corpse is wobbling unsteadily back and forth, trying to keep its balance. Try and help the corpse balance. You reach out for the corpse's left arm to help steady it. As you grab its arm, however, the corpse suddenly sways to the right, and you end up tugging the corpse rather than steadying it.
Chief, you might not want...
There is a crack from this corpse's left leg, and the body falls like a dead tree. Its torso strikes the stone flagstones and shatters like a rotten melon, filth and ichor gurgling from the cavity. To your surprise, no one seems to have noticed the corpse's collapse, and even stranger, the left leg remains standing where the body was, as if at attention. After a moment, the left leg falls over with a wet thump. As you gaze upon the putrefied remains of the corpse, you notice that its left arm seems intact. It has snapped from the torso during the fall, and it doesn't appear to have been touched by the tomb rot that had spread through the rest of the body. I wonder if I could make use of that arm. Yeah, you can use it as a weapon. It's so nice of the corpse to lend a hand. Get it? Story time? Yes, indeed. Hello, Boofy. And welcome to story time. Oh yeah, Geronimus gifted a bunch of subs. Like the Chad he is. You see a slight young woman with pale features. The sunken flesh around her cheeks and neck makes her appear as if she's starving. She seems intent on dissecting the corpse in front of her, prodding the chest with a finger. Greetings. The woman does not respond. She seems too intent on the body in front of her. As you watch her work, you suddenly notice her hands. Her fingers are talons. They are darting in and out of the corpse's chest cavity like knives, removing organs. I said greetings. The woman makes no response.
I think the dusty chit might be a bit short of hearing, Chief. Let's lay off, shall we?
What's wrong with her hands?
Updated my journal.
She's a tiefling, Chief. They got fiend blood in their veins, usually cause some ancestor of theirs shared knickers with one demon or another. Makes some of them addled in the head, and addled looking too.
Oh, hello, little Xiaomi. Haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? Tap the woman, get her attention. The woman jumps and whips around to face you. Her eyes are a rotting yellow with small orange dots for pupils. As she sees you, her expression changes from surprise to irritation, and she frowns at you. Greetings. She doesn't seem to have heard you. She leans forward, squinting, as if she can't quite make you out. Whatever is wrong with her eyes must make her terribly nearsighted.
You!
She clacks her taloned fingers together, then makes a strange motion with her hands.
Find thread and embalming juice. Bring here to Iveen. Go, go, go.
I had some questions first.
Updated my journal.
She turns away. She makes no sign that she heard you. Alright. I've been fine, not much really changed. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're doing fine. Oh, I think I remember this corpse. He's not actually a corpse, he's a spy. Don't forget to read the journal updates. Do you really want me to read the journal updates? Because there's a lot here. Look at this. Do you really want me to read all of this? Yeah. We'll never leave this mortuary if I start reading the journal entries. Alright. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. The number 821 is carved into its forehead, and his lips have been stitched close. The faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from the body. So, seen anything interesting going on? As you address the zombie, it blinks in surprise. What? You're not a zombie. Who are you?
Updated my journal.
The zombie is trying to respond behind stitched lips. He has a peculiar half-frightened, half-angry expression.
Who you? What you want?
Who are you? The zombie doesn't seem to have hurt you. He looks you up and down for a few moments, then frowns.
What you do here? You spy on Dusties?
No, I'm trying to escape. The zombie seems interested.
You in trouble? What you do?
I got trapped in here somehow. Can you help me out? He's silent for a moment, then nods slightly, as if in understanding.
Why should I help you?
Maybe we could help each other out. What do you want in return?
I'll need you to get a key for me. One iron key to embalming room.
Alright, where is this key?
A dusty shit has it.
He points at his eyes.
She has yellow eyes.
He then makes a motion with his hands that reminds you of a pair of cutting shears.
Blades on fingers.
A dustman woman with yellow eyes and blades on her fingers? I already met her in the embalming room. Hold on, I'll be back with the key shortly.
Updated my journal.
The zombie squints at you.
If you're caught, don't say nothing about me or me get you in your sleep.
I'll be back. The UI in the enhanced edition is actually a lot better than the original. I remember the original game, the UI was pretty bad. The enhanced edition does have a better UI. There's the embalming fluid. More embalming fluid. It's locked. I think we can bash it.
I'm forced it.
Bashed it with 9 strength.
All right. Ancient copper earring closed. This copper earring looks ancient. Oddly enough, there doesn't seem to be a hook or any means of actually attaching it to your ear. A series of strange grooves have been carved on the inside of the earring, however, which might merit a closer examination. Examine the grooves. The grooves are evenly spaced along the inside of the earring. Upon closer examination, they remind you of small fangs. They are definitely man-made, but you can't figure out what they were intended for. Okay. The EE is really good in general. Some speed up kept their mitts out of the actual content of the game. Yeah, that's true. They didn't add any new companions or new quests or anything like that, which is good. I do have a bunch of mods installed. I have the unfinished business mod. You see Iveen, she's still dissecting the corpse's chest with her talons. The rhythm of the talons reminds you of something, but you can't quite recall what. Watch her study the motions of her hands. Updated my journal.
As you study the motion of Iveen's hands, you feel a prickling along your scalp, and then suddenly you find your vision swimming, blurring until you are standing in front of a freshly slain corpse, rigor mortis making a mockery of its smile. The number 42 has been stitched onto its scalp. The zombie is lying on a slab, and you have just finished stitching up its chest. You have placed something inside, something that may prove useful if you come this way again. Keep these things safe and wait for my return. The memory of your voice is an echo, strange and hollow to your ears. You cross your arms in front of your chest, and to your surprise, the corpse does so too. After a moment, its hands fall back to its sides, and as it does, the vision fades until you're watching Iveen's hands make their stitching motions once more. Imagine Nira in this game. Yeah, let's not even go there.
Give her the thread and
Updated my
fluid.
journal.
Without missing a beat, Iveen snaps the thread from your hands and hooks it around one of her talons, then begins sewing up the corpse's chest. She then takes the embalming fluid and begins to apply a layer to the corpse. Wait. Within minutes she is finished. She clicks her talons, then turns to face you. To your surprise, she extends her hands and drags her talons along your arms and chest. Keep playing zombie.
Looks like you have a new friend, Chief. You two need some time together, or...
Keep playing zombie. As she traces your arms and chest, you suddenly notice that she seems to be examining your scars. She withdraws her talons, clicks them twice, then bends forward and examines some of the tattoos on your chest.
Who right on you? Hivers do that? No respect for zombies. Zombies, not paintings. This one bad shape, many scars, no preserves.
Wait. Her talons suddenly hook into the thread you brought her, and lightning-like she jabs another talon into the skin near one of your scars. It feels barely more than a pinprick, but it looks like she's about to start stitching you up. Let her work.
Updated my journal.
Max HP +1. The sensation is curiously painless as Iveen begins to stitch up your scars. When she's done, she sniffs you, frowns, then stabs her fingers into the embalming fluid. Within minutes, she has dabbed your body with the fluid, and strangely enough, it makes you feel better.
This may be the second time in my life I'm thankful I don't have a nose.
I wonder what the first time was. Iveen puts the last touches on your body, gives you another sniff, nods, then makes a shooing motion with her talons.
Done. Go, go.
Wait a minute. I need an embalming key. Do you have one? She leans forward, looks at your hand motions, then sniffs. Her hand darts into her robe, then emerges, a key hanging from her wickedly sharp index finger. She flicks it into your hand.
Bring back when done. Go, go.
Updated my journal.
You see the false zombie. You're amazed at the man's disguise. His breathing is so subdued you can barely see it. Greetings. The zombie quickly glances around to see if anyone is watching, then turns to face you. What? Here's that embalming room key you wanted. The zombie's eyes widen and he snatches the key from your hand. He turns it over, nodding all the while. Good, good. Now, how do I get out of here?
Updated my journal.
You can escape through portals. Poof.
Portals? What portals?
Portals. Portals everywhere.
Can you show me one of these portals?
You want out, go to Arch on first floor, northwest room. You need finger bone, shape of crook. When you have key, go to Arch, jump to secret crypt and can escape from here. Secret escape route. You can rest there.
Crooked finger bone? Where am I going to find one of those?
Updated my journal.
Must be one around somewhere. Look in storage room on upper floor. Maybe there.
Very well. I'll check upstairs for this crooked finger bone, then head to the first floor to one of the arches in the northwest room. Got it. Alrighty then.
I'm gone.
Charcoal charm. I think this gives like fire resistance, yeah. This reanimated corpse has had its lips sewn together and the numbers 310 carved into its brow. The smell of formaldehyde permeates the area around it. It turns its lifeless eyes upon you as you move to bar its path.
What are my stats, by the way? Oh, I should actually update the command. Strength 9, Dex 9, Con 9, Int 17, Wish 18. Where is my 13? There's the main command. I'm sending the VOD to Larian. If Ko can do Nuber's voice in Baldur's Gate 3, Kampala can do Boo. Yeah, please don't. The Dustman regards you with a stony gaze. Are you lost? No. If you are not lost, then what is your business here? I'm here to see someone. Who are you here to see? I'm here to see Dull. Dull is most likely in the receiving room on the second floor. He's quite busy and not in the best of health. Unless you have pressing business, I would not disturb him. Very well. Thanks for the information. The Dustman nods, then returns to his duties. Yeah, if you mess up the dialogue with these guys, there's gonna be like an alarm, and everyone starts attacking you. Despite this corpse's dry, leathery skin, it's clear this was once a beautiful woman of middle years. Whomever prepared the corpse seemed to take pity on her, sewing her bow lips shut with small, neat stitches and tattooing the number 832 upon her forehead in elegant script.
You don't need an identify spell to know what she wants.
Forced it.
Kinda weird how I can bash these open with 9 strength.
I'm gone.
The corpse's meaty head was clearly severed at some point and hastily sewn back on. Several different sets of stitching, all in various stages of unraveling, seem to indicate that the head is constantly being knocked back off and reattached during the course of its work. A number 79 has been cut into its temple, circumscribed by a fanged circle that appears to have been branded on its forehead. Examine the fanged circle. The fanged circle looks like it was branded on the corpse's forehead long ago, presumably before it died. It might be a religious icon of some sort, or a rite of passage. You notice that one of the recesses between the inner fangs has a small triangle within it, as if it has some special significance. I wonder if the space between the fangs match the grooves on this copper earring I have.
Updated my journal.
The corpse makes no reply. It looks like it is too far gone to answer any of your questions. Okay. Insert your fingernail into the notch that matches where the triangle was pointing in the fanned circle you saw on zombie number 79's forehead. You hook your fingernail into the third groove from the top and press it inwards. As you do, there's a click on the top, and the top of the earring snaps open. Not only can you wear the earring now, it also looks like there's a secret compartment inside the earring. Shake the earring if you see if anything comes out. You shake the earring, but nothing comes out. Whatever was hidden in the earring is gone now. Okay. Oh yeah, Clot Charm. These are basically the healing potions of this game. Dustman request, a note written on a scrap of dry parchment. Contact the necromancer responsible for raising contractual worker 42. I know he's examined the skeleton before, but I am certain the initial raising of the body was warped. The worker still responds to commands, but when it has completed a task, it resumes pacing in the same circular pattern as it did before. Dahl recently informed me that Worker 42 exhibited that same walking pattern when it was a zombie decades ago. There may be a soul echo in the marrow, or the skeleton's age may have caused the magic animating him to decay. One of the initiates suggested it may be following an order issued by a higher-ranking dustman in the past, but I have found no records of such an order. Whatever the reason for its behavior, the matter is to be resolved or the worker replaced. This looks to be the corpse of a well-aged, even ancient woman. Aside from the embalming fluid stink, the stitches sealing her mouth and the number 679 stitched onto her right cheek, it's likely she looks only slightly different now than she did in her final years.
Chief, if I don't come back, it's 'cause I'm gonna be dying the little death with that zombie shit.
Do you ever stop being horny, Mort? This animated skeleton smells horrible, as if it had been only freshly stripped and prepared. Its jaw and major joints are tightly bound with leather straps, and a rough smock has been thrown over it. The number 1221 has been chiseled into its forehead. Examine the skeleton carefully. Someone has taken care to bind the bones of this skeleton with leather straps woven around the body in such a pattern that they resemble muscles and tendons. The straps are secured to metal bolts punched into the skeleton's joints. The skeleton looks like it has seen a great deal of service. Many of its bones are chipped and its numerous fractures are bound with sealant and foul-smelling glues. Wonder if this Greybeard would mind if I borrowed his body.
Greybeard?
Greybeard, you know, geezer, old feller, yellow dog, old.
Well, I don't think he's in any position to object. Why not take his body?
Mort studies the skeleton for a moment, then shakes his head. Nah, I'd need a fresher one than this, and something with a little more dignity. This one's all creaky and fractured.
Alright then, let's go.
The numbers 613 are cut deeply into this blotting corpse's forehead, but an inch of shredded leathery skin separates the 1 and 3. Looking closely, you can barely make out a 2 carved there. Mort has a perma boner. Boner. I think you can actually, like, give him money so he'll have some fun with a prostitute at some point. No. These guys all have the same dialogue, so I'm not gonna read it every time. The skin of this female corpse is heavily tattooed with intricate patterns. The skin of her brow has been peeled back so that the number 1148 could be chiseled into the skull beneath. Her mouth has been sealed shut with thick, rough stitching.
Ooh, I want to be buried with her.
The skeleton turns to face you. 42 has been chiseled into its forehead, and a number of its bones, mostly the jaws and the joints, have been bound with leather straps. A black smock is draped over its body.
I think this is the corpse I had that memory about.
At the sound of your voice, the skeleton suddenly straightens up. It crosses its arms over its chest, and its fingers hook into its ribcage. Cross your arms over your chest. In response, the skeleton drops its arms to its sides. The leather cords securing the skeleton's torso snap, and the ribcage folds outward like a pair of double doors. Reach into the ribcage, feel around.
To your surprise, your hand vanishes as you reach inside the ribcage. You have a strange feeling it's somewhere else. As you reach inside the ribcage, your hand bumps against an invisible object. It's about the size of a fist and seems to be attached to the skeleton's spine. Take the item out. As you pull the item out, the skeleton suddenly disintegrates, and the iron bolts securing its joints clatter to the floor. Whatever this item was, it seems to have been the only thing holding it together. Examine the item. It looks like an unremarkable lump of iron. You can't imagine why someone would hide it inside the ribcage of a skeleton. Examine the piece of iron. As you place both your hands on the lump of iron to examine it, there is a hiss, and the metal evaporates, leaving behind a strange dagger, a handful of coins wrapped in dirty cloth, and 2 bloody teardrops. These look like they were inside the lump of iron. Take the items and leave. Green steel knife. It's not magical though. The skeleton has either seen a great deal of combat or has fallen down one too many staircases. Both its arms and legs have been broken and rebuilt with the aid of leather straps and thin iron rods. The front of its skull bears the number 863, but the back of the skull has caved in, forming an empty cavity. You notice that someone has taken advantage of this and tucked a rolled up piece of parchment inside the skull. Take the parchment out of the skeleton's skull. You slip the parchment out of the worker's skull. Oddly enough, it looks as if the skull cavity is intended to store messages. A tiny string is attached to the parchment from a hook bolted inside the skull, as if to keep the parchment from accidentally falling out. Unhook the string and take the parchment. You unhook the string and glance over the parchment. It looks like a reminder from one of the mortuary custodians. Judging from the note, the skeleton seems to be a walking messenger of sorts. As you take a second glance at the skeleton, you realize it has stopped in front of the slab because it can't figure out how to move past it. Mortuary reminder message. This rolled up piece of parchment appears to be some sort of message the skeleton in the mortuary was supposed to deliver. This is the third and last request for the pry bar if it has been misplaced. Tell me and I shall go to the hive market and purchase another. I have no objection to maintaining the contracted workers, but I've been trying to repair the skeletons and the bolts are wedged in so tight I can't get them out. Also, some of the locks on the storage cabinets on the 3rd floor have become stuck again due to the heat, and I need the pry bar to snap them open as well. If the pry bar is indeed lost, I will see about procuring the services of a locksmith and having the cabinet locks replaced. Your aid in this matter would be appreciated. An unreadable signature has been scrawled beneath the message. Well, we found the pry bar. We'll put it to good use. Mortuary task list. Someone has penned a series of tasks in red ink on this scrap of parchment. I would like the contracted workers to be inspected thrice daily at the end of each work shift when the new initiates come on duty. We have experienced too many contracted collapses while engaged in heavy labor as of late, and I fear the embalming enchantments initially used on the corpses may be decaying, or may have been warped somehow. If the contracted workers could be inspected every 8 hours and raised if they have collapsed, then this would prevent the backlog of shells in the preparation rooms and free up more contracted workers for other duties. I do not wish collapsed bodies to be disposed of. When possible, the original contracted shells are to be raised and may be made to resume their duties. I have included spare embalming charms within the shelves for the initiates on duty. They are to be used only when the shells cannot be repaired with stitching, bandaging, or applications of embalming fluid.
Done forced it.
There's the finger bone.
The air roaring from the mouth of this immense furnace is incredibly hot. Walking even a few steps past the archway would certainly cause your hair and flesh to burst into flame. Alright. I don't think there's any reason to talk to any of these others. So we'll just go.
I'm gone.
Wait, what's here first? Some more bandages. You see a stern-looking man in black robes. He's glaring at you suspiciously. You, state your business. I seem to have gotten turned around in these halls. Are there any guides around who can direct visitors? The dustman frowns. He seems skeptical. There are guides that can direct you in the antechamber. Do not wander the mortuary unescorted. Thank you for your assistance. I will go to speak to the guide. What's my charisma? It's 13 currently.
Done.
There's a lot of free boosts to charisma you can get during the game, so we'll eventually end up with like 18 plus. There's also the friend spell, which is quite useful. The most important stats are wisdom and intelligence. It's the same dialogue here. You see a tired-looking man in a black robe. His narrow face is extremely pale, and he doesn't look as if he has been sleeping. His shoulders are slumped, and the flesh sags loosely beneath his bloodshot eyes. He looks so lost in thought he doesn't even notice you. No way somebody's streaming this game. Hello, checkmate. Well, I thought I might as well be the only one. Somebody's gotta do it. Might as well be me. Greetings.
Updated my journal.
How am I streaming this? You tried years ago and it would just catch one image. I don't know. The same way I stream Baldur's Gate, just through OBS. I just have OBS capture the game window. It seems to work fine. Greetings. The man turns to face you and makes a slight bow. You suddenly notice that his eyes aren't bloodshot so much as they have a red tinge to them. I am Soego. How may I... He suddenly seems to notice your scars and the corner of his mouth twitches. I'm sorry, Sura. Are you lost? No, I'm not lost. I had some questions. I do not recall admitting you. Soego looks at you suspiciously and his eyes gleam red in the light of the torches. May I ask what you're doing here? I awoke on one of the slabs in your preparation room. He seems surprised. You woke up on one of the slabs upstairs? Yes, I know this is hard to believe, but it's the truth. I woke up on one of your slabs upstairs. Really? The dustman scrutinizes you. You do look like you've been prepared. I don't know how you would have survived such pain. Are you in pain? You look it. How would I have gotten here in the first place? Well... Soego squints. He seems confused. Obviously a mistake has been made. Either you were brought here by blood relatives, other dustmen, or... Soego suddenly hisses as if an unpleasant thought had just occurred to him. Or one of the collectors. Collectors? Yes, collectors. Packs of scavengers that bring the bodies of the dead to us. They may have thought you dead. Soego hisses and his eyes gleam. And they are so copper blind they wouldn't have cared to check before delivering you here.
Suego studies you. It is fortunate you awoke, or you may have reached the true death before your time. Then there's been a mistake, and I'd like to leave now. Suego nods and the corner of his mouth twitches. Why, of course. Let me open the front gate for you. Alright. Very well, the front gate is now unlocked, but you cannot re-enter. Can I ask you some questions before I leave? You may ask your questions. If I may ask, are you alright? You look tired. Suego manages a weak smile and the corners of his mouth twitch slightly. I have recently taken ill, minor fevers, nothing more. Sometimes they make sleep difficult. Anything I could do? Suego shakes his head. No, thank you for your concern. I will endure. Was there something else you wanted? Give me a sec. Yes, I had some other questions. Do you know someone named Farad? Farad? Of course I know him. A ghoulish man, no respect for the dead and even less for the living. He is a scavenger, a collector. Do you know where I could find him? I know he resides in the Hive, the slums outside the mortuary, but I do not know exactly where. Some of the other collectors may know if they'll talk to you. I'm missing a journal. Have you seen one? A journal? No, I have not seen one. Do you know there's a corpse up on the second level that's a human in disguise? Pardon? There's a man disguised as a corpse upstairs. I think he's spying on the dustmen. What? Why would anyone... An anarchist. His eyes gleam bright red. An anarchist here. He suddenly seems to remember your presence and he composes himself. Thank you for informing me. I will see to it that the guards handle this matter. No problem. Snitch? Listen, I'm trying to be lawful good. Lawful good characters can be snitches.
Done.
The plaque on the spear is blank. This looks like a large tomb. The marble surface gives it a rather elegant look. This doddering corpse has had its eyes sewn shut, as well as its mouth, and the number 732 is carved into its brow. Threadwork that keeps its ocular cavities sealed looks extremely old. You wonder if the eyes were sewn shut before or after the man's death. You notice he is carrying a huge tome in his hands, as if taking it somewhere. Lawful good, more like lawful nerd. I mean, I do have high intelligence and wisdom. And I'm gonna be a mage, so... Take the tome from his hands carefully. You carefully take the tome from the corpse's hands. It doesn't seem to notice. The tome appears to be a book of enchantments and wards. It is filled with diagrams and charts detailing various aspects of the necromantic arts. The book itself is extremely heavy. As awkward as the zombie is, it must be extremely strong. Tome of Bone and Ash. This worn leather-bound tome lists diagrams and charts detailing several minor wards and enchantments. There are numerous drawings of skeletons, bones, and the manner by which they may be preserved over time. Of particular interest is the section regarding guardians. Apparently dustmen animate corpses of fallen giants to serve as guardians for the mortuary. To make them even deadlier, armoring enchantments are woven into their best breastplates to help shield them from attacks.
The book is much too complex for you to absorb all at once, but it looks as if you could refer to certain sections when the need arises. Okay. You see a male corpse with the number 331 chiseled into his skull. His eyes and lips are stitched closed, and there is a gaping hole torn in his throat. He smells foul. This corpse is actually gonna be important later, but that'll be a while. That's the same dialogue. This reanimated male corpse has the numbers 1041 carved into its forehead. Despite its taut, desiccated flesh, it is apparent that its features once had a rather exotic cast to them. The zombie's lips have been stitched closed, most likely to prevent it from moaning incessantly, and it smells strongly of formaldehyde. Crescent hatchet.
Oh, sure, I'll just, swing it with my arms.
Before you is a giant skeleton in ornate bronze armor. The armor has been bolted onto the skeleton's frame, and a series of elaborate symbols have been carved across the breastplate. You wonder where the skeleton came from. You weren't aware they made humans in this size. The huge blade in its hands looks like it weighs as much as a wagon cart. Examine the giant skeleton carefully. The skeleton's intricate bronze armor is riveted onto its ribcage and shoulder blades with series of iron bolts. As you study the frame behind the armor, you notice the same iron bolts are set into the skeleton's shoulder, elbow, pelvic, and knee joints. A mass of thick leather cords and heavy knotted ropes run along the length of the skeleton's arms and legs, woven in such a pattern that they resemble muscles and tendons. Examine the armor. Despite the armor's obvious age, it looks well cared for. It shines brightly, and the symbols engraved on the breastplate seem to flow in the firelight. Shift them slightly whenever you try to focus on them. Study the symbols. Almost unconsciously, you let your gaze relax as you look at the symbols. After a moment, the symbols cease shifting and resolve into a trail of runes that run up and down the breastplate. Strangely enough, the interlocking pattern of runes reminds you of chains, and with that thought, you suddenly recall that these runes are some sort of warding enchantment. Study the runes, try and recall the enchantment. You study the pattern of runes as they weave their way across the breastplate. On its most basic level, the runes are a lesser armoring enchantment, but several skull-shaped runes and spherical tracings along the edges of the armor make you suspect several greater necromantic and warding enchantments are woven in as well. Touching the skeleton will most likely cause it to awaken and defend itself. Oh, Corgan got permit, rip. See if you can dispel the enchantment somehow. You suspect that marring the rune pattern along the breastplate could unravel the enchantments, but it looks difficult. The pattern is complicated, and scratching out the wrong portion could cause the skeleton to animate. I think it's this one. Mar the runes, maintaining the warding enchantment first, then work backward through the rune pattern, cancelling the necromantic. Then the armoring enchantment. The work is difficult and nerve-wracking at first, but slowly your mind begins to focus and the runes begin to unravel beneath your attack. Within minutes, the giant skeleton has been stripped of the enchantments binding it. It collapses, falling to the floor with a crash of bones and a heavy clanging noise. Damn pile of bones! You wait for a moment, but no one responds to the sound. Moving quickly, you sift through the skeleton's parts on the floor.
Most of it is too heavy or too old to be useful, but you discover a piece of the skeleton's breastplate with a majority of one of the broken enchantments engraved on it. You have a feeling that it could prove useful. I'll just take it then.
Looks like my skills have increased.
Oh, we leveled up. That's pretty pog. Saving throws have improved, fighting skills have improved, 1 characteristic point gained, and 10 hit points gained. Alright. I know we're gonna get a free wisdom point pretty quickly after we leave the mortuary. So I'm gonna put this on intelligence. Yeah, here's it's the same thing. Oh yeah, Mort leveled up too. Here I am being lawful good, destroying the property of the dustman. Almost 2 hours in, we're leaving the first area, yeah. We still need to talk to Deonara. But yeah, after we talk to her, we can just leave. Oh look, it's a ghost. The plaque on this spire says, "Here lies Deonara." There it is, the music. Yeah, I love this music. I mean, all of the music in this game is amazing. You see a strikingly beautiful ghostly form before you. Her arms are crossed and her eyes are closed. She has long flowing hair and her gown seems stirred by some ethereal breeze. As you watch, she stirs slightly and her eyes flicker. Greetings?
You! What is it that brings you here? Have you come to see firsthand the misery you have wrought? Perhaps in death I still hold some shred of use for you, my love.
My love? Do I know you? The spirit makes a begging motion with her hands. How can it be that the thieves of the mind continue to steal my name from your memory? Do you not remember me, my love? The ghost stretches out her arms. Think. Her voice becomes desperate again. The name Deonara must evoke some memory within you. No, I'm sorry. My memories are lost to me. Then it is as I feared. I am truly lost to you. And what was once an inconvenience for you, you now have the excuse to discard me as you have my memory. I will wait for you in Death's Halls, my love. That always stay with me, yeah. Have you played Torment, Boofy? Or have you like completed the game? Hello, Immortal Spacepoken. How are you doing? Inconvenience? Discard you? I do not know you, spirit. My memories are no more. Tell me, who are you? What do you know of me? You played it once long ago? I see. I just love the narrating technique where you learn to hate your former self. Yeah, it's like one of the incarnations was like really horrible. But I don't want to spoil too much, of course. You are one both blessed and cursed, my love. And you are one who is never far from my thoughts and heart. Blessed and cursed? What do you mean? The nature of your curse should be apparent, my love. Look at you. Death rejects you. Your memories have abandoned you. Do you not pause and wonder why? I'm still trying to get my bearings, actually.
What else can you tell me about myself?
I know that you once claimed you loved me and that you would love me until death claimed us both. I believed that, never knowing the truth of who you were, what you were.
And what am I?
I cannot.
She suddenly freezes and he speaks slowly, carefully, as if her voice frightens her.
The truth is this. You are one who dies many deaths. These deaths have given the knowing of all things mortal, and in your hand lies the spark of life and death. Those that die near you carry a trace of themselves that you can bring forth.
As Dayanara speaks the words, a crawling sensation wells up in the back of your skull. You suddenly feel compelled to look at your hand. As you lift it up and look at it, you can see the blood coursing sluggishly through your arm, pouring into your muscles and in turn giving strength to your bones. This voice acting, it's kind of hard for me to voice act female characters, you know, for obvious reasons. But I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Whoa. Gained an ability.
And you know Dayanara is right. You suddenly remember how to coax the dimmest spark of life from a body and bring it forth. The thought both horrifies you and intrigues you. Oh yeah, you get raised dead as a special ability. I had other questions.
Updated my journal.
What is it you wish to know?
Can you tell me where I am?
Where are you? Why, you are here with me, my love. As in the times when life was something both of us shared. Now it is the eternal boundary that separates us.
Eternal boundary?
It is a barrier I fear you shall never cross, my love. It is the barrier between your life and what remains of mine.
Dav is replacing Corgan with Minsk. Only Balthazar and Ravager are left. Oh my god. Minsk. Well, I mean... he'll pull through, I'm sure. I need to escape this place. Can you help me? As you are about to ask Dayanara the question, it catches in your throat. It occurs to you that if you tell her you are looking for an escape route, she may feel you are abandoning her. If you're going to ask her how to leave, you'll need to be delicate about it. Dayanara, I am in danger. Can you guide me to a place of safety? I shall return as soon as I can to speak to you again.
In danger? Of course, my love. I will aid you any way I can. Perhaps there is a way.
Yes?
I sense that this place holds many doors shrouded from mortal eyes. Perhaps you could use one of these portals as a means of escape.
Portals?
Portals are holes in existence, leading to destinations in the inner and outer planes. If you could find the proper key, you could escape through one of them.
Key?
Portals will reveal themselves when you have the proper key. Unfortunately, these keys can be almost anything: an emotion, a piece of wood, a dagger of silvered glass, a scrap of cloth, a tune you hum to yourself. I fear that the dustmen are the only ones who would know the keys you could use to leave their halls, my love.
Then I shall ask one of them. Farewell, Dayanara. Dummy Mummy replaced Minsk? Damn. If he's not cheating the XP, then Jaheira's not gonna, she's not even gonna have HLAs. So no Earth Elemental transformation.
Hold a moment. I learned much when I traveled with you, my love. And what you have lost, I have retained. I have not divulged all that I know to you. My sight is clear, whilst you fumble in the darkness for a spark of thought.
And what is it your sight sees that I do not?
Time itself relaxes its hold as the chill of oblivion slowly claims us, my love. Glimpses of things yet to come swarm across my vision. I see you, my love. I see you as you are now, and...
What is it? What do you see?
I see what lies ahead for you. It ripples through the plains, stemming outward from this point. Shall I speak of what I see?
Tell me.
First, I require a promise. Promise you will return, that you will find some means to save me or join me.
He sounds so dejected now. I mean, yeah, it's understandable. Getting someone permit that late it's brutal. I'm gonna make a vow. I swear I will find some means to save you or join you.
This is what my eyes see, my love. Unfettered by the shackles of time. You shall meet enemies 3, but none more dangerous than yourself in your full glory. They are shades of evil, of good, and of neutrality, given life and twisted by the laws of the plains.
This is Jennifer Hale, by the way. Mazzy.
You shall come to a prison built of regrets and sorrow, where the shadows themselves have gone mad. There you will be asked to make a terrible sacrifice, my love. For the matter to be laid to rest, you must destroy that which keeps you alive and be immortal no longer.
Destroy what keeps me alive?
I know that you must die while you still can. The circle must come to a close, my love. You were not meant for this life. You must find that which was taken from you and travel beyond, into the lands of the dead.
Die while I still can.
Updated my journal.
I do not doubt your ability to rise from the dead. I do believe that every incarnation weakens your thoughts and memories. You claim you have lost your memory. Perhaps it is a side effect of countless deaths? If so, what more will you lose in successive deaths? If you lose your mind, you will not even know enough to realize that you cannot die. You shall truly be doomed.
Countless deaths? How long has this been going on?
I do not truly know, except that it has gone on long enough.
Farewell, Dayanara.
I shall wait for you in death's halls, my love.
She smiles, but there is only sadness in it. She closes her eyes, and with an ethereal whisper, she fades.
You back with me, Chief? You kinda drifted out on me there.
No, I'm fine. Do you know who that spirit was?
Yeah? Spirit?
That spectre I was talking to. The woman.
You were rattling your bone box with some woman? Where? What did she look like?
She was right on top of the beer. Didn't you see her?
No, you just kinda drifted out for a bit there. Just stood there, statue-like. I was a little worried you'd gone addled on me again.
No, I'm fine, I think. Let's move on.
Alright, boys. We're finally done with the first area.
Alright. Yeah, let's just leave through the front door. If I leave through the portal, I'll lose the bone charm, and this is actually really good. Gives you resistance. Below 2 hours, yeah. Alright, let's go. Sigil.
I'm gone.
This might be a good time to take a little break. I might make some coffee. Get something hot to drink for my voice. Wait, what's this YouTube link? Oh.
Hey, Chief.
I think I've seen this video. Let's watch it.
You okay? You playing corpse or you putting the blinds on the dusties? I thought you were a deader for sure. What's up, Chief? What?
Updated my journal. Updated my journal. Updated my journal. Updated my journal. Updated my journal.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, what? Random videos. Alright. Anyway, I'm gonna take a little break here. I will be back soon. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Alright, I'm back. I got some coffee brewing in the kitchen. Kambala's preparing his voice in the next room. I really should have done some like... I was thinking of doing vocal warm-ups. I really should have done them. I'll do them for next stream. There's a pretty cool technique. Wait, I can actually do it. Let me just grab my old guitar here. So basically what you do is you play a major scale and you follow it, you replicate it with your voice like da 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 da. Then you go up by a semitone. Da 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 da. And so forth, and you rinse and repeat. So that's one way you can warm up your voice. Pour some whiskey in the coffee, good for your voice. I don't have any whiskey, I don't drink, but maybe. Alright, let's go. don't think there's anything here. I'll speak to Mr. Pox. The skull figure is hunched by the mortuary gate. His face is obscured by the shadows of his hood. What little you can see is his chin, which is covered with stubble, and what appears to be a foul green and purple rash. The rash seems heaviest around his neck, fading as it crawls up to his chin. Greetings. The figure doesn't budge. There's a moment of silence, then he responds in a high-pitched voice that sounds more suited to a girl of 10 years than a man. Oh god, I have to voice act this.
Hi!
Who are you?
Pox am I. Hi!
Pox?
Mother and father named me. Wished the pox on firstborn. A curse given. Came true it did. Hi!
Again, your eyes are drawn to the purplish green rash covering Pox's chin and neck. Oh. What are you doing?
Wait for debtors do I. Hi!
Debtors? Corpses? Why?
Find a debtor, take him through the gate, get some jink, then again I wait. Hi!
Through the gate? Why?
A debtors to a dustman, what coppers to a collector. Bring them the dead. They give you copper at the gate, they do. Hi!
Why do the dustmen pay for the dead?
Streets clean, debtors put in their place. Streets don't stink, dead aren't lost, kept inside gate. All happy, hi!
What do the dustmen do with these debtors they buy?
All debtors inside gate, put them on slabs, cut them up, bury them, or make them walk, hi!
Make them walk?
Hi! They make some get back up if the debtor gives the dustman leave to, and the debtor becomes a skills or a zombs.
Is the front gate the only way inside the mortuary?
Hi! Only debtor or dustman go in gate they do. Do you want Pox to make you debtor again?
Again?
Hi! Many time you ask. Pox always do.
Mr. Towley, is that you? How many times exactly?
Many time, hi!
So, we met before?
Hi!
What do you know about me?
You a debtor who don't stay debtor for long, hi? Deal square with Pox you do.
Do you know anything else about me?
You a debtor who don't stay debtor for long, hi? Deal square with Pox you do.
Kill me then, I wanna get inside the mortuary. Please say no, you're a towel in Pox's voice.
No, you're a towel!
Say, I had some other questions. Do you know someone named Farad?
Hi, Farad, collector, big name, has weight. Casts long shadow it does, hi.
Do you know where I might find him?
Hi, in the hive here, he is somewheres, hi.
Can you be more specific?
Hi, somewheres in the hive he is. Farad hide he does. Very hard finding he is, not worth finding he is.
Not worth finding? What do you mean?
Hi, many hates him, other collectors even. Sirgrave hates him, not like Farad at all, hi.
Sharegrave?
Hi, Sirgrave, big name, carry weight, casts long shadow he does. Tell Pox what to do he does.
Would your boss, this Sharegrave, know where Farad is?
Updated my journal.
Hi, Sirgrave knows darks he does. No Farad a hiding he does. Sirgrave in Rackpicker Square, many blocks west of here, hi. Say Sirgrave that Pox sent you, tell him. Sirgrave becomes sharecropper with Pox he will, hi.
I had some other questions. I've lost the journal. You wouldn't happen to have seen one, would you?
Hi, no journal have I seen. Things get lost in the hive, never found again. Maybe journal one of them, hi.
That's all I wanted to know. Thanks. Farewell. Somehow I feel like this isn't even the wackiest character I'll have to voice act. Dab fucked up dialogue with Balthazar, Ascension chance 0. Oof.
There's a mad woman running around here at times. Heard she's a clueless who went barmy trying to find her way home. I saw some... it's the same thing, basically. Stuck to him first. The man before you looks to be middle of height and years. He's stout with a thick bullish neck and his shoulders are hunched, as if a great weight was pressing upon them. He wears an impatient look as he stares at the black monolith in front of him. Greetings. The man throws you a glance. There's room, Cutter. No need to ask my leave to stand here. Actually, I wanted to know what this monolith was. It's a tombstone for the plains. Graveyards of names are scratched on that rock. Can only hope my name's the one that'll split this stone in twain. Quentin, right there, hammered in just hard enough to send the damn thing crashing down. Tombstone for the plains? Aye. The Dusties scratch the names of the dead on this monument here. And on the walls of this place. Not enough space by my reckoning, but no matter. They do their best. Can barely read half the names. What are you doing here? Reading the new arrivals. Try and find a new one every day. Try and remember if I knew him. Nothing more. The dustmen record the names of all that have died on this monument. Aye, they scratch them on this rock. And scratch them on the walls in this place too. I don't know why they take the trouble to take accounting of the dead. The Dusties have more care for the living. The living? Aye, you know about the dustmen mourners that come to this place? They aren't mourning the dead, see? They're mourning the living. You can barely get a word in them edgewise without them asking to mourn some poor living Burke for you. Why do they mourn the living? You got me there, Cutter. Might want to put the question to them. Seems to me the dead are thrice worth the pity of any poor sod living in this pit. Every name on there is blessed in my book, it is. Never know anybody who came back after their name was put on there? You mean come back from death? Not a one, Cutter. Everything that lives dies, and that's the way of things. Still, considering the planes go on forever and all, I suppose anything's possible. I suppose so. Oh, we already asked this. This obsidian monument has names chiseled on it. This obsidian wall has thousands of names carved into it. Waiting a couple of minutes for chat to backseat the dialogue whilst options was way too fucking long, so he picked what he thought was best. He apparently also lost Hexat's bag of holding. I have no idea how that happens. Yeah, sometimes he kinda just rushes into things, doesn't really like read the chat. There's been some close calls before because of that. This woman's face looks broken and she's covered in scars. They look like bite marks and fingernail cuts. She's cradling the shreds of several rags in her hands and is staring emptily at the wall of the monument, at the names there. Greetings. Psst, get you back. The woman's teeth peel back, displaying a row of black canines. What you want of Sebtai? What's the matter? What wrong? Those chaos men wrecked my cart, attacked me, and killed 3 of my sisters who tried to stop them. Not sisters anymore. Now there's nothing but names on this memorial wall. I can't wait for Dev to see him. He loses Imoen and will probably lose Saravak too. I'm 99% sure Dab forgot to lower his rep so Saravak does not betray. Chaosman?
Chaos Men, a faction, they says. What they are is an adult bunch that runs wild through the hive, and does whatevers they please. We never did no harm to them. Then they lope in like dogs and tear apart anything within their reach.
Who are these Chaos Men who attacked you?
They're a hiver gang, a bunch of adult sods that call themselves the starved dogs barking or some such barmy nonsense.
Their actions were unjust. If you wish, I can see that the matter is rectified. If 3 deaths they caused, then 3 deaths shall these starved dogs suffer.
A copper earring in your purse if you pen 3 of those murdering sods in the dead book, Jig.
I'll see to it that they're put in the dead book. Can you tell me where they might be found?
Go out the south gate, spireward from here, then walk around the block until you comes to a place where men run in circles, howling at the sig sky. There's the starved dogs, they are.
I'll go look for them.
Updated my journal.
You see a dustman with a crooked smile frozen on his face. Despite the smile, his eyes are as dull as stones. His right arm is shorter than the left, and he keeps it tucked to his side, as if cradling a small child. Greetings. The dustman's eyes slide over you. Name. The way he speaks the word, it sounds like the tolling of a bell. I don't know. No name, can't help you. The dustman speaks in a curious sing-song voice. Need to give a name if you want to see where it's died. What?
Updated my journal.
Given a name when you're born, give it back when you need it no more. Death of names, death of names. His eyes swim across the monolith and the walls of the area. Buried many names here, Death of Names has. Tell me a name, I'll show its grave. Deonara. His eyes roll to the back of his head, then pop back. With a wild gleam, his eyes run across the walls of the monument, scanning the names at inhuman speed. He then points at a section of the wall. Buried. Examine the spot he's pointing at. Chiseled into the black stone in tiny cramped writing is the name you requested. It is almost lost beneath the sea of names around it. Just checking. Farewell. Here the alley at dangerous angles. Whole neighborhood once stood there but got burned to the ground. Nothing but packs of rowing thugs there now. You see a haggard woman wrapped in rags. Her hair is disheveled and dirty, and her complexion is extremely dark. Burns cover her arms, and her right hand is a fused lump of flesh. It looks melted like wax exposed to a great heat. Greetings.
Updated my journal.
What is it you want of me?
The woman's accent is thick, and you're having difficulty making out what she's saying.
You want me to leave? Not leaving the city, so I'm not. I can't. Tried. It's not a city. It's a prison to everywhere.
Everywhere?
There's worlds. There's...
Her eyes gleam madly.
Plains that be sinking sands. Fields thirsty nettles be. Sightless worlds where your limbs are given life and hate. Cities of dust whose people are dust and whisper ash. The house without doors. The twilight lands. The singing winds. The singing winds. And shadows. The terrible shadows there be.
Where are these places?
Where's them places?
She flings the lump of her right hand in an arc, gesturing at the cityscape.
There's all here be. Doors here to everywhere.
Doors?
You're not knowing this?
She squints at you and her teeth start chattering.
Tell you I will. Beware every space you walk through or touch in this thrice-cursed city. Doors, gates, arches, windows, picture frames, the open mouth of a statue, the spaces between shelves. Beware any space bounded on all sides. All these are doors to other places.
What do you mean? Will Dav kill Stepsis while she's turned into the Slayer? So many questions, none of them involve ascending. You'll never know. Ingress has the best teeth of all time. Oh yeah.
Every door has a key, it does, and with this key they show their true nature. An arch becomes a portal, a picture frame becomes a portal, a window becomes a portal, all eager to take you someplace else. They steal you away. She raises the lump of her right hand. And sometimes that what's on the other side takes part of you as a tithe.
What are these keys?
The keys number as many as the doors of the city. Every door a key, every key a door.
Her teeth start chattering again as if she's cold.
And a key is anything. It may be an emotion, an iron nail held between your second and fifth fingers, a thought 3 times, then thought once in reverse, or it may be a glass rose.
And these are all keys that open these doors?
Updated my journal.
Yes.
Her teeth start chattering and she clenches her mouth closed and squints her eyes.
Yes. Can't leave.
How did you get here?
Updated my journal.
She seems to calm slightly and her eyes take on a 1,000-league stare.
Came from a place else from here, almost a life ago. Hummed a tune by a glade with 2 dead trees that had fallen together. A brilliant door opened in the space between the crossed trees, showed me this city on the other side. I stepped through, ended here.
Why can't you go back?
Tried. All doors here lead to other places.
She shudders and grips her melted right hand.
Went through thrice 10 portals, some a purpose, some a accident. None of them right. Can't find way back.
There must be a portal that can take you back.
Can't even leave here, this square. And there, the place of death behind the gate waits for me.
She points at the mortuary behind the gate, then turns back to you, her face desperate.
Can't go anywhere in this city.
You can't go anywhere? What do you mean?
Anything could be a door, any arch there, any door here, could be a portal, don't know the key, could get us sent to another horrible place.
Her teeth start chattering again.
Got to stay away from the closed spaces. All could be doors, could have a key on me, and I not be knowing it.
You're afraid to go through any door or arch because it might be a portal? She nods, her teeth chattering. How long have you been afraid of this?
Since the last time I walked through the last portal, the place where my hand. Since my 10th turning. I'm in my 4th 10th turning that now.
Her teeth begin chattering again. 30 years? You haven't walked through any door for 30 years. Her vision seems to clear slightly. She looks up at you, her teeth still chattering. If you got here, there must be a portal that can take you back. It's only a matter of finding it. She smiles. Her teeth aren't chattering because she's cold. They're moving around inside her mouth, her gums twisting as the teeth shift about. They rise and recede as you watch, chattering as they rattle against each other. What? She hisses at you.
Only takes one portal you steps through an accident to drive the fear into you. I went through thrice 10, lost my hand, burnt my flesh, and lost my sense. No more.
I'm sorry. If I can find some means to help you, I will. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
Bayan the Sender. You see a heavy-set man with sharp features and a pained expression. Despite his huge frame, however, he has an effeminate look about him, and unlike the other residents you've seen, he looks to have bathed recently. As you approach, he looks up hopefully and calls out in a high voice. "Craddock, good sir?" "What?" His hopeful expression dies as he studies your face.
"1,000 apologies, good sir, if I have given offense."
He gives a slight bow.
"I am called Bayan the Sender, third child of De Bayan the Sender. I am one of the many runners in employ of the House of Senders."
"No apologies necessary, Bayan. What do you want?"
1,000 apologies for troubling you with such a trivial matter, but I see Craddock, an overseer in the hive."
Bayan looks like he is in pain.
"But alas, he eludes me."
He looks at you hopefully again.
"Could it be you have heard of such a man?"
I'm sorry, I haven't. Bayan gives a deep sigh.
I am bound to deliver a message to him, and as yet, fortune has chosen not to favor me.
I could help you. If I come across the man, I could pass along your message.
Bayan's face lights up like a lantern. Oh, fortunate day for Bayan and the House of Senders. Any assistance you could provide would be most welcome. If you can find this Craddock and pass along the message, I shall see to it you are paid for your troubles.
Alright, what's the message?
Bayan recites the message almost like a mantra. The shipment must be incursed by the 3rd day or there will be a penalty. I am told that Craddock will know of the shipment to which the message pertains.
If I see Craddock, I will pass along the message. Is there anything you can tell me about him before I go that might help me find him?
He is said to be a giant of a man, stern of features, that he is an overseer in one of the hive marketplaces. Alas, I know little else than that, good sir.
I see. That's enough to go on now.
Thank you, sir. Should fortune favor you and you are able to bear the message to Craddock, be so kind as to return and tell me of it. I will see to it your efforts are rewarded.
Very well. Farewell,
Updated
Bayan.
my journal.
Am I squeezing out all I can from my streaming time by narrating all conversations? No, it's more like, because if you're playing this game, like, what's the point if you're not reading the conversations? And because that's what this game is all about, you know? Like, you play this game for the dialogue and role-playing. Although there will eventually be some combat.
The woman smiles at you. No, I can't help you. Wish I could though. I do.
I hate it here. Wish I made enough jink to leave the... Wish I made enough chink to leave the hive for good. Take me advice, Cutter, and get out when and if you can. Like I've said, Planescape is not about the combat. Combat is boring. Anyone watching though probably knows the conversations by heart by now. Not necessarily. And even if they do, it can still be fun watching somebody else play. Go see the post if you're trying to find your way around. It's standing outside the Gathering Dust bar. I can't stand the thought of raising my child there. Maybe one day my family can leave this awful place. The woman seems to recognize you instantly. She steps back in horror. After all this time, you bastard! May all the fiends in Beator take you. One day you'll be sorry for what you did to Aerin. By all the powers, I swears it. She turns to flee. Wait. Here, the alley at dangerous angles. Whole neighborhood once stood there but got burnt to the ground. Oh, already heard this. Have you got the ambience on low? Kinda missed the cutter, etc. banter. Oh, I can turn it up a bit. Lady, strike me blind. I've seen you before, Cutter. But I never thought I'd see you again. Sigil smaller than you thinks, I suppose. You know me? She smiles nervously. Know ye? Nay, but like I said, I've seen ye. It was last year, late at night, near Anti-Peak. Looking for my sister I was, when you came tearing past me like mad. Stumbled and dropped this you did, right at my feet, before running off. I kept it for good luck, seeing as how fate saw fit to drop it right in front of me there. She holds up a wicked-looking dagger. Here, seeing as I run into you again, take your back cutter. Farewell.
Thanks. Farewell.
Green steel dagger. Oh yeah, there's some stuff in this crypt.
I'm gone.
Copper commons and pens note.
I'm gone. I'm gone.
Oh, I think I remember. This guy gets mad if you talk to him. This woman looks to be in her middle years, and her hair has streaks of grey running through it. Lines of worry crisscross her face. As she sees you, she seems torn between asking you to leave and calling for the man at the table. Greetings. You'd best leave, for I call me husband. He won't take kindly to you having barged your way into our home. Calm down, I just had some questions. She glances toward her husband, worry in her eyes. I have not the time, stranger. Do not be troubling me with such things.
Excuse me, are you alright?
Me? Oh, aye. You'd best leave. Me husband has not been himself of late. You'd best not provoke him with your presence.
What's wrong with him?
He's been out of sorts of late. A touch of the cough, maybe.
If you tell me what's wrong, I might be able to help.
I think he's done something he regrets.
Let me take a drink.
I think he signed one of the dead contracts. I cannot imagine what possessed him to do such a foolish thing.
Dead contracts?
The dead, the dustmen, have contracts that give them the right to someone's body after they die.
What do the dustmen do with the body after death?
Animate it with their black magics, turn it into one of the walking dead, make it a worker till it rots away.
Why did your husband sign such a thing?
He may have been goat eager to bring home some more jink than cost him. He's prideful, but I think he's hurt himself more by doing so.
Can this contract be undone?
I've tried. I've spoken to the dustman he did the signing with. But he's cold and chill like all the dusties. He even lectured me on my husband as if I had no right to try and help him. He was cold, cruel, he was.
Let me see what I can do. Who was this dustman your husband signed the contract with?
The dusty calls himself Gravesend. I know not his first name. He has a table at the Dustman Bar in the Hive. Gathering Dust, I believe the place is named. You can most likely find him there, trying to get more people to sign his contracts.
I'll seek him out then. Where is this Gathering Dust bar?
Updated my journal.
Head out to the street outside, go to the memorial stone, then head south and west from there. You should run right into it. There's one of them walking corpses out front.
Very well. I'll go see what I can do.
I won't turn away such a friendly gesture. But I must ask you not to let on that I asked you to do such a thing. My husband has a terrible temper, and if he were to find out...
I promise that your husband will not find out.
Thank you, stranger. I appreciate your help.
It's no trouble. I'll go see about undoing your husband's contract now.
All right.
This filthy looking corpse is in bad shape. Its shoulders are slumped and one of its legs is broken, causing it to lean to one side. Stains cover it from head to toe. Judging from the smell and the texture, the stains run from rotten fruit to mud and bird droppings. To add to the indignity, graffiti has been carved into its body and several notices have been nailed into its chest, back and head. Examine the corpse. Despite the many stitches, the corpse's rotting skin is peeling in several places, revealing long stretches of muscle and bone. You'd guess that this zombie is frequently used as target practice. The fruit and mud stains aside, some of the tears in the skin still have rocks and bits of glass lodged in them. One wicked-looking cobblestone is still embedded in the side of its head. Pry out the cobblestone. You grab a hold of the cobblestone and pull it out of the corpse's head. Traces of brain matter and rotting flesh slowly drip from it. It looks like whatever was in its head turned to ooze long ago. Examine the graffiti and notices. A number of the leaflets have been ruined by rain, but some of them are still legible. One tacked to his back is from something called the Office of Vermin and Disease Control. The one on his forehead looks like a bill of fare for a restaurant. One on his chest looks like an official notice, and another appears to be some sort of want ad. The graffiti runs from obscenities about the dustmen to slogans glorifying what appear to be local gangs. One piece of graffiti catches your eye. Someone has carved the name Farad on the corpse's left arm, then slashed an X across it. Look at the poster, Office of Vermin and Disease Control. To those hive citizens wishing gainful employ with the most honorable and generous civil government, inquire forthwith at Office of Vermin and Disease Control to help stem plague of brain rats. Bounties paid. Copper given for each rat tail brought. Tails must be genuine and from rat only. No cat, dog or fiend tail accepted. Office several streets south and west of Mortuary Gate in Lower Hive. Ask for official inspector in charge, the respected Phineas T. Larth, D. 39th. Examine the bill of fare. Someone has posted a bill of fare for the Gathering Dust Bar, but the bill of fare cannot be read as the words Smoldering Corpse Bar have been scrawled in charcoal over the bill. Smoldering Corpse Bar? The zombie immediately jerks its left arm upwards and points far to the southeast. A moment later, the arm falls back to its side with a thump. Reminds me of a job I once had. Well, I mean, without the arms. I wonder if this will work with the other notices. The best bar? Hell yeah. I love the music in there. We should actually go and visit, because Dakon is there. We should pick him up. There's also the guy that gives... Yeah, we should go there next. Summon the official notice. Public notice by the order of the Judiciary Council and in accordance with the citizenry of Sigil. Let it be known, those defacing a registered servant of the Dustman, either by graffiti, malicious attack, or by posting notices, will constitute felonious assault, and the perpetrator will be answerable for the vandalism of said servant, by order of the Hall of Speakers. Wanted, able-bodied person willing to investigate a matter of the utmost importance to the Dustman cause, will offer suitable compensation upon successful completion of said task. Interested parties inquire with Initiate Norakh, Gathering Dust Bar. Farad?
Updated my journal.
The zombie immediately jerks its left arm upwards and points far to the west and downwards. A moment later, the arm falls back to its side with a thump. Thanks. Yeah, let's just go to the Smoldering Corpse now. There's some stuff there I want to do.
I'm gone.
Hey, we're being watched, Chief. Just look natural.
Dev forgot to do all the challenges? Really? Don't you have to do them? No, this is some heckin' sweet music. Oh yeah. I'm gonna turn it up a bit.
Done.
Yeah, he has to do them after 20 plus years of VG. He thought he could skip. Yeah, he messed up the dialogue with Balthasar. We'll talk to this guy first, because he gives you a point of wisdom. You see a man standing stock still. He isn't moving a muscle. On closer examination, it appears that he isn't even breathing, just standing. His eye sockets are empty holes in his face. Contained within their bounds is a flat grey light that seems to dance with possibility. Looking into the sockets, the eerie, empty feeling of a limitless void shivers through you, as if you had gazed into a sliver of eternity. The head slowly swivels toward you. You notice that no muscles appear to move under his skin as he turns. And he speaks in a pure, bell-like tone. Well met, wanderer. You have forgotten again, haven't you? Do you know me, stranger? As he opens his mouth, you get that feeling of eternity again. Inside his mouth, you see no tongue, no teeth. It's almost as if this man were a shell surrounding an illimitable expanse. I have spoken with you before, and always you forget. Your endless quest to discover yourself ends always in your amnesia. You draw close to the truth and recoil. Let us hope that you have the strength to endure your existence. Let's recap. He lost Hexat's Bag of Holding. Korgan Permat, Balthasar will be hostile. Add in the fact that Stepsis goes hostile, and I am not 100% if Dev has his rep low enough to keep Shervok in the party. Yikes. It's gonna be a close it's gonna be rough. What do you know of me? How do you know this? I know that you, like a fly, rise up from the wreckage of your old shell, buzz about for a time, and curl up and die at the window of truth. You bumble about the pain, seeking the light without any plan to your actions, and fall exhausted when you fail. You alight on others to feed from them for a time, and move on with no regard to them. I have watched you come here and listened to your words, and watched you move away no wiser. Will you learn from your mistakes, Seeker? Who are you? I am O. For some reason, when he speaks his name, it sounds like he's speaking of much more than a single letter, as if the speaking of his name contained untold possibilities and nuances. No human tongue could ever create such a sound. What sort of a name is that? It is my name. It is the name of a portion of eternity. I am a letter in the divine alphabet. Understanding me leads to understanding existence. I am writ in the true names of half of everything. My being encompasses truth. I am mathematic, organic, metaphysic. So what does that mean? The divine alphabet is written the name of everything that exists, from the seed at the hearts of the elemental planes to the core of the great beyond. My brothers, sisters, a single word translates into the two in your mind, and I reach across all that is, was, or ever shall be. We are thought and reality and concept and the unimaginable. Tell me about the great beyond. You would not understand. No mortal possibly could. It is beyond the powers of comprehension of all but the most powerful of powers, and once they understand, they move beyond the veil of mortal comprehension. I can explain it no more than that. Perhaps sometime you will understand.
So what are you doing here?
Why, I am watching the ebb and flow of mortality.
And what do you see?
You mortals are like wasps. You build your lives' nests from the slimmest of branches, and when the wind shakes your home life free, you seek to sting the wind to death. Instead of realizing your foolish mistakes, attempting to repair the damage you have caused yourself, and learning from your experience, you bring harm to any who have the misfortune to blunder near you in your time of pain and distress. My advice to you and to all mortals: stop acting like an insect and start acting sentient.
I'll think about that. I'm looking for a journal. It's urgent. Do you know where I might find it?
I know where you can find it, but it is not my place to reveal such information. Rest assured, you will find it, as well as the man you seek.
Do you know where Farad is?
I know where he is. I can give you only one word: nearby. You will find him in the hive, under a veil of secrecy.
That's what all your answers seem to be under as well. Can you give me an answer to another question? Then that means you know all the secrets of existence, doesn't it?
I know parts of many of them. Without a connection to my brother's sister, I am but a letter. Alone, I am a symbol. Combined, we are language and power.
So you don't know the secrets of existence?
I did not say that. A letter is still a powerful force, even on its own. Allow me to show you. He opens his mouth wider and wider still. The mask of his face tears around his eyes, mouth and nose, revealing that hint of eternity you glimpsed earlier. You are lost in it, adrift in it, a part of it. You return to your mundane senses and realize that O has vanished, yet somehow your horizons have expanded. Enlightenment has brushed you, however briefly, across the brow.
That was indescribable.
Yay, wisdom increased permanently. Now we have 19. Your wisdom surpasses that of mortal men. And here's Dakon. The man before you is old. His dry yellow skin has the scars of one who has traveled everywhere and never rested long in any one place. His pinched face is inhumanly angular, and his ears sweep out from his skull, tapering to points. He wears a loose-fitting orange tunic, and a strange shimmering blade is strapped across his back. The blade looks to be a two-pronged glaive, made of some metal whose surface swirls like a film of oil on a pond.
Greetings.
The man turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. He stares through you, and for a moment, you wonder if he might be blind. The weapon suddenly turns a dead, flat black, mirroring the man's eyes.
Are you alright?
Hail, traveler.
He says nothing for a moment, merely searches your face with his eyes. His voice is quiet and somber, like a wind whispering through the branches of a great tree.
Hail.
Your eyes are the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place.
You could say that.
The man's gaze does not waver from yours.
I am known as Dakon.
The emphasis he places on the word known strikes you as odd, yet familiar at the same time.
You are not known to me. I do not know myself. That is for the best. In knowing yourself, there would be little in the plains left worth knowing. I would know why you have come to this city.
I'm looking for answers. I have many questions.
Speak your questions. I will hear you.
Your features are unfamiliar to me. What are you?
A Gitzerai.
A Gitzerai?
A Gitzerai is one of the people.
One of the people?
A Gitzerai.
Yes, but what are the Gitzerai exactly?
Our history does not need to be made known to you. We would bleed to death on Time's blade before I recited a fraction of the histories of our people. I don't need to know your histories, but I would know of your people as they are now. Know this and accept it as an answer. We are the people who make our home upon the shifting plane of limbo. There we will mold the matter of limbo with our minds. We forge cities with our thoughts. In its chaos we dwell, with only our knowing to preserve us. We are the Gitzerai. What is that blade you have? It moved, shifted in response to your voice. It is a Karak blade. It is an object that lets others know the rank of the wielder. Eri dead, Saravok dead. This is a disaster. Oof. Wait, I kinda wanna see. I'm gonna take a quick peek how he's doing. Yeah, this does not seem to be going too well.
It is done. I am ready.
Load and kill your step, bro.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll be fine. Copium. Wonder what the burning corpse smells like. Probably smells like burnt meat. Karak, what does that mean? In your tongue, the closest translation is chaos matter. The people may shape it with their thoughts. The people? The Gitzerai. And you say the Gitzerai can shape this Karak with their thoughts? Karak is not shaped by heat, but by knowing oneself. It is a mirror that reflects the will of the wielder on its surface and at its edge. When one knows themselves, the blade is strong. Harder and stronger than steel. When one does not know themselves, the blade is as water, formless and weak. What rank does the blade signify? The blade is a symbol carried by the Zerth. A Zerth is one who knows the words of Zerthimon. In knowing the words of Zerthimon, they know themselves. Zerthimon? Zerthimon founded our race. He knew the Gitzerai before they knew themselves. He defined the people. He gave them one mind. I've lost the journal. Do you know where I might find it? The location of such a thing is not known to me. Do you know of a man named Farad? I am told he knows something about me. That one is not known to me. You seem to place a special emphasis on knowing. What do you mean? All things, whether structure or flesh, their existence is defined by their knowing of themselves. And if a man does not know himself? When a mind does not know itself, it is flawed. When a mind is flawed, the man is flawed. When a man is flawed, that which he touches is flawed. It is said that what a flawed man sees, his hands make broken. Do you know yourself? Dakan falls silent. His cold black eyes take on the same distance that you noticed when you first spoke. I'm not gonna push him. Never mind. Can you tell me about this city? It is known by the name Sigil. Among the people, it is known as the city that does not know itself. It doesn't know itself? What do you mean? The city exists, but it does not know itself. In not knowing itself, its existence is flawed. How is it flawed? The city exists in opposition to itself. It has set itself apart from the planes, yet it seeks to be everywhere at once. Its walls are doors, yet it keeps these doors locked. Such an existence tells of a thing that does not know itself. In not knowing itself, it is flawed. What if the city is not flawed, and you just do not know the reasons for its contradictions? There is order in everything. Perhaps there is an underlying pattern that you cannot perceive. To your question, a question. What if the city is flawed, and you see its contradictions all around you? To your question, a question. You claim this city's existence is flawed. You have accepted this rather than explore the possibility that something greater may exist. That suggests you are flawed, and that you do not search for knowledge, but only for a convenient answer. There is no knowing the answer to the questions we have asked, yet the city exists, that is all. Yet I would maintain that we know ourselves by the questions we ask and the ones we do not. If we cease asking questions and accept only what we can perceive, then we will cease to know ourselves. Such words have been spoken before. I have heard them and know them. Where have you heard them? The words are mine. Once I knew them and knew their meaning. I had forgotten them until you spoke. I would travel your path with you. I accept. An extra blade would be welcome.
Your path is mine.
Alright. We have acquired Dagon the Fighter Mage. Dev's game crashed, really? Did he get saved by the crash? Wow. Lucky. Dakon's writing is just amazing. Oh yeah. Especially when you read the Circle of Zerthimon. Which we will of course do.
This ceremonial armor is the symbol of a Zerth. I will not part with it.
Oh, it gives him 5 AC. It's like Elven Chain. Oh yeah, I think Dakon's blade actually changes depending on how well you treat him. Like if you treat him really well, he gets a good blade, while if you treat him like shit, he gets evil blade. Whispering Flask. The Unbroken Circle of Zerthimon. We'll have to become a mage before we can actually start studying this. Oh yeah, I should read this note. Pen's note. This note has been written with remarkable penmanship upon the finest parchment. Vaxis, if you are reading this, then you have undoubtedly failed in your task and have been forced to use the escape route I have arranged. I told you that your little disguise idea was ridiculous. In any case, you'll need to lay low for a while. The Dustmen may be deluded, but they're not fools, and they will certainly seek retribution for our intrusion. I've left you some coins. Use them to secure a hiding place in the hive, preferably in Rackpicker Square. The Dustman will be unwilling to look for you there. Once you have secured a new hiding place, I have a new mission for you. Find out where Farad is getting those bodies he's delivering to the mortuary. It's apparently causing the dustmen a great deal of upset, and I wouldn't mind knowing myself. Reports are that stone-faced dustman at the Gathering Dust Bar, Initiate Emmerich, I think the fool's name is, has been sending out finders to try and mark Farhad's movements. See if you can find out how far along he is and hinder his efforts until we know more about Farhad's activities. I don't want Emmerich finding out something before we do. Pen. We're used to the well-oiled Bosnian Canadian machine of destruction, which is poofy. It's so bad it feels like watching my VODs. Yeah, or mine.
Your path is mine.
I'm gone.
Do I want to do anything else here right now? It's Ignis, but we can't really do anything with him at the moment. Oh shit, combat!
Done.
Yeah?
I'm gone.
Damn. This is ridiculous.
Endure. Right. In enduring, grow strong.
All right.
Guys, what are you doing? Kill them.
All right. All right.
Why are they tunneling my character?
Done. I'm gone.
Did you see that?
Your will be done.
I'm a bit quiet compared to the game and fighting. Oh yeah, I need to... Just turn everything down a bit.
All right.
That's right up, come see the burning man. Try to put him out, buy him a drink. He's thirsty. He's on fire. He's a red hot. Come on in.
Is the EE version any decent? Yeah, actually. It's honestly better than the original, mostly because of the UI. Because in the original, the UI is pretty bad. The EE is definitely better. Essentially, it saves you the headache of chasing down and installing all the mods needed for the OG game. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gone.
I should maybe go and talk to Mebeth so I could become a mage. Let's go here first.
Chief, what are we doing in here? Let's say we just give this place the laugh, alright?
Done.
Before you is a young dust man with stubble on his chin and dark circles beneath his eyes. He's staring at the wall with a somber expression. Greetings. The dust man doesn't look up. He stares straight ahead as if he's seeing something several leagues beyond the walls of the bar. Can I ask you some questions? The dust man doesn't respond. He keeps staring into the distance. Alrighty then. Let's go, Chief. This dusty might as well be fertilizer. Fair enough. Let's get out of here. As you turn to leave, the dustman suddenly speaks, his voice barely a murmur. You have to strain to hear the words. You think he said something about wanting to die. What did you say? The boy's expression does not flicker. Do you want to die? No. Do you? Yes. Why do you want to live? There are certain questions I need answered about my life before I am willing to surrender it. I want to find out who I am. The dustman listens silently. After you speak, he does not respond, merely watches you. He looks like he's thinking. Do you want to die? Is that why you asked? Yes. Why do you want to die? This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. Why would anyone wish to remain in this foul city in the center of a multiverse that feeds on pain and hatred? Death is silent, comforting. That's a bleak outlook. There's a lot more to life than pain and hatred. This is living? This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade. Oh, he already said that. Trust me, it's not. The boy seems irritated by the comment. And how do you know? I think I've died before. I don't remember much about it though. The dustman blinks then sneers. You lie! No man can die more than once, not without being resurrected by mighty magics. Resurrected? Resurrected, brought back to life. The magic required is indeed powerful. Who would be capable of such power? A powerful sorcerer or priest, or one of the powers, but not anyone I know. And I don't believe you know of anyone of that sort either. Wow, that hits hard. I must think about this. Nah, as long as there's booba, life is good. Well, that's one way to look at it. That is one philosophy. There are many philosophical schools of thought that all basically try to answer the same question. Why is everything so shit? You don't believe I can't die? I can prove it to you. What do you mean? You can't seriously take your hands, twist your neck. Oh, that's brutal, twisting your own neck. Your vision slowly returns. Your death felt different this time. You see a waiting death standing above you. He looks horrified and fascinated. He has propped you into a chair and is looking apprehensively at the other bar patrons. They don't appear to have noticed or have mistaken you for a drunk. Convinced now? Are you one of the walking dead? No. Then what are you? I don't know, but I die and I'm reborn. Yet, you still think? You still feel? Yes. To be dead and still think and feel? Will misery never leave a body be? Even death is no release. Indeed. Perhaps you should not be so quick to abandon this life before knowing what the next life holds for you. The boy falls silent, thinking. Eventually he turns back up to you. Your words carry weight, sir, and a fresh perspective. I will do as you have said. That is all I ask. Live, grow old, and learn. Farewell. This must be the only game in existence where you get XP for killing yourself. Let's talk to Narach. You see a spindle-thin dust man in dirty black robes. His stiff black hair springs forth from his skull like a crown of spikes, and his leper-white skin is drawn sharply across his skull. He's frowning into his drink and mumbling to himself. Greetings. The dust man looks up, blinks once, then looks you up and down, studying you. As he studies you, he takes one of his spiked locks and points at himself with it. Narach, Initiate, Dustman, Guard. I'm here about the posting outside. The Dustman looks you up and down. Many troubles have I. Help can you? A mausoleum awakes, the dead walk, the dead stirred, the dustman disturbed. Find out what disturbs the undead, and copper coins will I pay. Very well. Where is this mausoleum?
Updated my journal.
Narach nods. Mausoleum by Dustman Memorial. Go north and west from Black Monument. Go to Arch, and a semicircle over your heart with this finger this make. He wiggles the index finger on his right hand. To the mausoleum go you well. I'll look into it then. Farewell. Okay. This tiny wizened man is dwarfed by his huge dustman robes. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature. Although he looks to be in his late 90s, this man is extremely energetic. He fidgets continuously and his eyes dart around the bar like a bird's. Greetings. The man's eyes gleam as he takes your measure, and he gives a slight nod in greeting. Hail and well met, traveler. You look like one who is just getting their sigil legs about them. Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow. Possibly. Are you certain it was me? Maybe I was mistaken. Well, no matter, no matter. How is it that Mortai Gravesend may help you? Do you seek the contract, perhaps? Contract? The contract? Why, it is but a simple transaction. From the depths of his huge robe, Mortai pulls forth a dusty parchment and a quill pen. I give you 50 commons. In return, after death, the Dustman faction may claim your remains. What use will you have for them at that point anyway? What do the Dustmen do with the body? Mortai holds up his hands as if he doesn't know. What does it matter? It is of no consequence when you pass on. It matters to me. Well, if you must know, oftentimes nothing is done with the body, and it is we, the Dustmen, who have wasted all that money. More fools us. Mortai gives a light smile, then looks apologetic. But rarely there are times when the workers in the mortuary need to be replaced, and then we may have need for your body. You mean I'll be animated as a corpse and put to work in the mortuary? That doesn't sound good. Ah, but no harm is done, no pain. Mortai raises a finger as if to emphasize the point. And there is no danger. In exchange for money you can spend in this life, you merely have to give us something you will have no need of anyway once you have died. I signed the contract myself, if you must know. I shall have no need of my body when I pass on. I'll consider it. For now I have some other questions. Of course. It would be my pleasure to answer any questions you may have. Are you the one who signed that debt contract with Angier? Mortai frowns. He looks puzzled. Mayhap. I do not recall the name, however. Do you have that contract with you? Mortai frowns, then looks into the folds of his robes. I do not normally keep the documents with me, but it may be that... No, I don't have it on me. Would you like me to fetch it from one of the back rooms? If you could, I would like to see it. Hold on a moment.
Updated my journal.
After a while, Mortai returns, a dusty piece of parchment in his hands. He holds it up, allowing you to see it, but he does not allow it to leave his grip. Look over the parchment. There it is, sir. Angiar, very somber fellow, was quick to sign, and now a much richer fellow. You glance over the contract. It looks genuine and very official. Very well, it all looks in order. Mortai puts the contract away, and you notice he tucks it into his robes instead of putting it in the back room. Mortai clucks his tongue. Does that answer your questions about the contract? I would like to settle that contract. Mortai looks wary. I'm afraid that is impossible. The contract is signed, settled, and binding. I suggest you hand over the contract right now, or I'll butcher you where you stand. The contract is tearing the man's life apart. It is causing him distress. It is possible that he may not even be able to approach the true death with such emotions churning in his mind. Mortai chews it over for a moment. It looks like you've negotiated him into a corner. I cannot. It is a matter of law, my friend. Besides, the burden lies upon the signer to overcome his own feelings in order to reach the true death. I cannot. So what you're saying is that you'll deny him the true death for the sake of a piece of parchment? Mortai sighs and holds up his hands as if to placate you. Look, it is not how you are making it out to be. You obviously hold the philosophy of the Dustman in contempt to damn a man's soul over a piece of paper. Do other members of your faction know of your conduct in this regard? If not, they soon will. Mortai glares at you for a moment, opens his mouth, closes it, then opens it. By the 9 hells! He reaches into his robes and throws the contract to you. Here! He sniffs disdainfully. All for a man's peace of mind. Now be gone. I will leave for now. Farewell, Mortai.
I'm gone.
Okay.
All right.
There's the contract. Let's go and talk. Starting to get tired.
I'm gone.
Angiar's wife looks up hopefully as you approach. Were you able? Yes, I was able to get the contract from Mortai. Here it is. She looks relieved and her eyes become misty. Oh, by the powers. You must be a deva in disguise to do such a thing for someone you barely know. Give her the contract.
Updated my journal.
Nay, if you could show me husband the contract, say that you got it for him. But don't say how, I'd appreciate it. Very well, I'll show it to him then. This man looks haunted. His eyes are half-lidded as if he has had trouble sleeping, and his hair is long and unkempt. His beard is flecked with bits of dead skin and old bits of food. He doesn't seem to notice you as you approach. Greetings. The man glances up at the sound of your voice, and his slack expression vanishes. It looks like someone has lit 2 fires in his eyes. What be your business barging into me house? His eyes narrow and his teeth clench. Get, or I'll send you back to whatever grave you crawled from. Show him his Dustman contract. As you pull out the contract, the blood drains out of Angiar's face.
You should not have come to this place.
For a moment he seems at a loss for words, then his temper quickly resurfaces. Thank you, Twisty Scoomer for the follow. Appreciate it. And welcome to the stream.
Where did you get that? By the powers, you'd best tell me.
Tear up the contract.
Updated my journal.
You tear up the parchment and Angier's eyes follow the bits of paper as they float to the ground with a desperate look. He shudders slightly, then straightens as if a great weight was lifted from him.
Yeah.
He looks like he's about to thank you, then stops and stares at you suspiciously.
Nothing's free. Not in the hive, Cutter.
Consider this free, and expect a lot of rules in the hive to change while I'm around. Angier's angry expression crumbles. He looks tired of fighting his good fortune.
I must have prayed to the right powers this past half month. You have me thanks, Cutter, for whatever that's worth.
It's worth a great deal to me. Take care, Angier. Actually, you see Angier, he looks much better than before. Some color has returned to his face, and his eyes have lost their haunted look. As you approach him again, he turns slowly to face you. And he snorts.
If it isn't the hive's own saint of suds like myself. What can I do for you?
I had some questions. Ask your questions. Can I ask why you signed the Dustman contract?
Perhaps it's the sheer amount of riches and wealth that surrounds you that distracted you. We have less than nothing, and I need a jink. Didn't seem to matter too much at the time where it might come from, and selling me body to the Dusties is a lot more honest than most work around here.
What caused you to change your mind?
It's just... I saw one of them zombies on the streets a half month ago. One of them zombies that work for the Dusties, and it stabbed me in the heart. I knew I'd made a mistake. I didn't want to be any part of that after death.
We've all had our share of mistakes.
I suppose so.
I've lost a journal of mine. Have you seen one?
I haven't seen a thing such as that, Cutter.
I'm looking for a man named Farad. Do you know where I can find him?
Aye. That name be known to me, and not a fond name it is either.
What can you tell me about him?
He's one of them collectors, and one with a long shadow. Has quite a few boys at his beck and call. He may not be Lord of the Realm, but he's not a smart one to tangle with, Lord or no.
Do you know where I can find him?
Updated my journal.
Aye, but I wouldn't be doing you a favor telling it to you. One of me kin fell into his lot a few months back and spilled some of the dark of old Farad. To hear tell, Farad's actually got his kit buried somewhere under Rackpicker Square. To get to it, there's some kind of portal you need to jump through while carrying some junk in your hand.
Where is Rackpicker Square?
It's a few blocks from here. Go straight west from the mortuary gate. Keep going until you start seeing trash and rags piled up everywhere. You'd do best to walk careful there. The collectors there don't always wait for a body to die before collecting on the corpse, you hear.
Thanks for the information. Farewell.
Done.
Looks like the Dusties lost one of their deaders.
Yeah, it's midnight. We got a good 3-hour stream in. I should probably not stream for much longer to make it to, you know, I should take it easy on my voice. So I think we're gonna call it here. We'll give the Vaorn a raid. We'll watch him. We'll watch him Alright. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching and listening. Thank you again, Geronimus, for the gift subs. Much love. I will probably stream again tomorrow, although it'll probably be Baldur's Gate tomorrow, we'll see. But yeah, have a good one, everyone. Let's go and raid the Veyor. So, good night and see you guys. Bye bye.